Framed underneath the snowy caps of the Chugach Mountains and Pioneer Peak in Palmer, Alaska, it's opening day for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's a day of firsts for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's deja vu all over again from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska.
The Miners begin the official second half of the season.
It's the most important day of the regular season, so why not play two?
It is good to be back in Palmer, Alaska.
Can it get any better than that for Mat-Su? The rally outside of the valley makes it an 8-5 game.
And the Miners have a wire-to-wire win here at Herman Brothers.
Vergara on his horse looking over his shoulder in right center. He dives!
Yes, he did! Here comes Vest. He rounds third base. The throw home, not in time. Cooper Vest scores the go-ahead run.
It's behind Maltby. He can't find it. Run comes home. Tomerlin steals home!
A two-run shot for Steven Lancia. Welcome back to Palmer, Alaska.
And that ball is gone! Emilio Barreras, if you didn't know him, now you do!
A storybook finish to the regular season for the Mat-Su Miners.
Mat-Su, from the bottom of the valley, is atop the mountain. It's time for playoff baseball from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska, for the number 1 ranked Mat-Su Miners to take on the number 4 Peninsula Oilers. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. The Miners last won the ABL playoffs in 2018, but this year they've got the number 1 coach in the league and head coach Ty LeBrun. And for game 1 today at the top of the world playoffs, they've got Brandon Downer, who had his own milestone back on Wednesday against the Glacier Pirates.
Trust your defense, attack the zone, be efficient. He was awesome. He's been probably the most reliable starting pitcher on this staff, and that's saying something because there are so many great Miners pitchers. He should be in for another great one today.
He's going up against a good Oilers lineup. These bats are second in the league as far as team batting average, behind the second place Glacier Pilots. But I think the story with the Oilers mainly comes from its pitching. They've got Ty Correa and Will Grimm as two of the best starters in the league. Correa just took home Top Prospect Award. He has the best earned run average of anyone with 5 or more starts at a .83 line. Will Grimm, in his 2 starts, he's got a .39 ERA.
Yeah, Will Grimm only 2 earned runs allowed in over 20 innings. Correa, similar deal with him in like 32 innings. I mean, these guys are incredible. Not to even mention Mose Hayes. I mean, the pitching staff for Peninsula is elite. They are a very strong 4-seeded team that a lot of teams might not have wanted to match up with. So it'll be a tall task for this Mat-Su lineup that feasted yesterday, has feasted in previous games throughout this season. When the bats are hot for Ty LeBrun's squad, they are really hot. But against the Oilers, Mat-Su has had a lot of their guys have lower batting average than their normal season averages. So that is a big storyline to monitor today and this series.
The Mat-Su Bats have had their worst batting average as a team against the Oilers. That's because of 6'9" Ty Correa, Will Grimm, Mose Hayes with that dirty 12-6 curveball. Now let's move into what happened yesterday. So the Miners swept a doubleheader at the Glacier Pilots to snatch first place. And before then, you got a chance to talk with relief pitcher Price Simmering. He's a great dugout vibes guy. The full interview will be out on YouTube tomorrow morning, but why don't you grab a sneak peek?
Welcome into the 4th episode of Valley Chats. I'm Austin Barach, and today we're joined by pitcher Price Simmering.
Yes,
Price,
sir.
What's up?
Oh, there's not much, man. Gonna go down to Anchorage today, hopefully take 2 from the Pilots and get first place and run with this sucker. I've always been interested in ranch realty, or just raw sales of raw land, stuff like that. So, and then again, like I talked about, honestly making a hunting career. I would love to travel around and just explore all of God's country and just, chase His creation, and pursue God and pursue His creation as much as I can. So,
last one, the Mat-Su Miners will win the ABL championship if
we take 2 today.
2 today against the Glacier Pilots. You
That's
heard
right.
it here. That's Price Simmering. I'm Austin Barach. This has been episode 4 of Valley Chats. Price, thanks for your time.
Austin, thank you.
Price is such a fun guy. I love talking to him, and I think you had a good conversation with him.
Absolutely. Price is the man. Great to chat with him.
He just bleeds Texas, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Now someone who bleeds Indiana is Preston Shadoan, and this is a rare double feature. I got to talk to him earlier today for episode 5 of Valley Chats, so why don't you grab a preview of that one as well. Welcome into episode 5 of Valley Chats with number 5, Preston Shadoan. I'm your host, Jesse Cook. The Miners are about to host the first leg of the Top of the World playoffs at home against the Peninsula Oilers. So would you say that the atmosphere is a little different ahead of this one?
I would definitely say so. I mean, we had a good crowd at Anchorage yesterday. You can tell that the fans are starting to come out. And being here at home, we always draw a good crowd. So I'm excited to see what we can pull out here at Herman Brothers today.
So you're zoned in on the hill, but I've heard from your teammates that your chatter is somewhat legendary, that you've turned a few phrases like 2 more of those and that'll get you detention.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, when a guy's tardy, whenever he swings late, we say he's tardy. Well, you get 3 tardies, you may be getting a trip to detention. So that's just how that is. I want to be a radiologist. I'm a very, very analytical guy. So that's, you look at the scans, you analyze it and figure out what's going wrong. I'd say play together, play how we know. We've got the talent for sure here to do it. We've just got to stick together, for this playoff baseball here at Herman Brothers. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's Preston Shadoan. This has been episode 5 of Valley Chats. Preston, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
I'm Jesse Cook. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the game. Preston was a lot of fun to talk to. Him and Price, they're 2 characters. They ride in the same van to road games.
It's like a buddy cop movie, honestly. These 2 back and forth, it's just comedic genius all the time.
Yeah, those guys, Ethan Lyke is in that van as well. All the pitching staff in one place. Those guys spend more time resting than anyone else because they got to support their arms every now and then, going more than 5 days without throwing a pitch.
Absolutely. When you're pitchers, it's a lonely time sometimes. You got to entertain yourselves, entertain each other. They have a lot of fun.
So a big thank you to Preston and Price, but we also have to extend a few other thank yous because we don't know how many playoff games Matsu will play. Austin and I thought it would be a good idea to hand out our thank yous at the beginning of the postseason. So first and foremost, thank you to our general manager, Pete Christopher, and his wife, Denise Christopher. The amount of work they do for this team is unreal.
It's truly unbelievable. I mean, the recruiting, the getting together, the host families, the food, the meals, the tickets, everything that is involved with the games, even getting us here. Like, there is so much that they do. They run everything. It's truly amazing to see. We thank you guys so much.
And there are few people as kind as those 2 as well. I can't even count how many times they've stuck their neck out for us or lent us a hand when they absolutely did not have to. Another person who goes out of his way to help out the Matsu Miners is the board president, Terry Johnson. He's been here all day since 8 a.m., and that's not unique for him.
Not at all. Terry is always here mowing, doing something around the ballpark to make it as elite as it is, one of the greatest ballparks in America, and he drives Van 1 as well, so he's around the team a lot.
And we also have to extend a thank you to all the host families. Specifically in our case, we got to live with the Combs family for a period of time and now living with the Norcus family. Big thank you to them. It takes a lot of guts to be a host family. You're letting a stranger into your house and telling them that you're a part of the family, and they've made us feel that way.
Absolutely. It's been awesome. Can't say a bad thing about either situation. It's awesome to go home and, I just called it home because, it honestly feels that way. Home away from home, 4,500 miles away from Massachusetts. So it's just been fantastic.
And we have to thank our families back in the lower 48. For both of us, they're back in Massachusetts. So thank you to the Cook family. And I got to meet the Barach family, and they were wonderful. So big thank you to them. But Austin, I also have to extend a thank you to you.
Oh, no.
So right here,
Oh, no.
right down here, I've got a gift for you. And it's not just from me, it's from the whole team.
What? Oh,
so open it up.
gosh.
I know the box is a little dinged up. Other way.
I-
It's the other side.
I didn't do anything. I feel really bad.
I hope you enjoy this. I hope it'll help with your morning walks to class in the fall semester.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is great. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Signed by the whole team.
This is too much,
Terry
Jesse.
and
Thank
Pete
you.
to sign it. All the head coaches
Wow.
signed it.
All right, this is unbelievable. I got a few days to figure something out for you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you don't need to give me anything in return. Austin, I told you maybe 11 months ago that I had this crazy idea to go out to Alaska and call games, and your gift to me is just coming along and being my friend.
Oh, stop it. This is too much. It's been a great decision. Thank you for leading me on this journey, Jesse.
Well, I'm excited for the next few days and what it has to bring. But let's take a look back to last night. Austin, we had a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun this week, but the Miners' bats were hot and the pitchers were even better, allowing just 3 hits across 2 games to the Glacier Pilots. Let's take a look and a listen back to what happened yesterday in the regular season finale, and stay tuned for after that because we've got some interviews from last night's game as well. It's the most important day of the regular season, so why not play 2? The Mat-Su Miners are on the road at the Anchorage Glacier Pilots with first place up for grabs. Mat-Su is in second, a half game behind Anchorage, and this doubleheader will decide who gets home field advantage when during the postseason. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. He leads the league in homers with 4 of them. No one has matched him since he hit his 4th home run about 2 weeks ago.
And Jesse, you and I both know this. If it weren't for his lack of at-bats because he got here late, he would certainly be first team All-ABL.
The 1-1 to Vergara. He swings, drives it deep to left center field, hanging back towards the fence. Make it 5! Alex Vergara goes yard and sets the tone early. 1-0 Mat-Su. The league leader in dingers evidently does not stop on the last day of the regular season. Second batter, and the Miners go up 1-0 on the solo homer. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a loop down to left field. Rodriguez charges in. He lays out. The ball gets by him. Tucker comes around to score. Rodriguez chases down the stray ball, and Barreras is into second base with an RBI double. 2-0 Mat-Su.
The 1-2 out of the windup. He deals and got him. Swing and a miss. High and inside. Cristo continues to power through the Glacier Pilots lineup. That's his 4th strikeout in the last 2 innings. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Outside corner. Got him on some high cheese. Lamb is down with a swinging strikeout for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances. Cristo leaves a runner on base. And through 4 full innings, Mat-Su remains on top by a score of 3-0. Mat-Su has the top of the order when we return in a few minutes.
A 1-2 count, runners on second and third, 2 away, 3-0 Miners, bottom of the 5th. Cristo has not allowed a hit yet through 4 2/3 innings of this doubleheader. The pitch, swing and a miss. Drew Cristo makes jelly out of the jam, and he still has not allowed a hit through 5 frames in the first leg of this 7-inning doubleheader. The 2-2, runner off to second, swinging a ground ball to short. It eats him up, picks it up, throws to the bag, and it's late. Hannah scores. Vergara's at second, Lancia's aboard, and it's 4-0 Miners. Runner on first, 2 away for the top of the order, and Elijah Rodriguez. The pitch to the lefty. Swinging a pop-up behind third base. Vergara charges in from left field. Calls off Barreras, looks up with one glove and makes the grab. Mat-Su shuts out the Glacier Pilots and keeps their hopes for first place alive. A 1-hitter, 4-0 Miners the final.
It's the last game of the regular season, and the winner of this matchup between the Road Miners and the home Glacier Pilots gets the top seed in the ABL playoffs. And it's 2 first-time starting pitchers on the bump. For the Pilots, it's Joe Iglesias, and for the Miners, it's Landon Guggenmoss. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Vergara, of course, blasted a home run back in the first inning of Game 1 to left center field. He also doubled in the game, struck out looking and walked, so he went 2 for 3 in Mat-Su's 4-0 victory. The 0-1 is battered to deep left field. Rodriguez looks up, and he won't even think about chasing after it. All the way to the football field. A moonshot for Alex Vergara, his 6th of the season, and the 2nd today. It's 1-0 Mat-Su.
The Miners lead 1-0 thanks to an Alex Vergara home run in the first. That's the top of the order up for the Miners against the righty Joe Iglesias. Cooper Vest is number 1 in this lineup. He struck out swinging last time. Righty-lefty match up. The BYU product at the plate with gray batting gloves. First pitch. He swings, rips it to deep center field. Jackson looking over his shoulder. That tailing back towards the wall. He leaps it. One hops the fence. Vest cruises around second, tailing for third. Throw to the infield. They won't get him. Vest is in with a head-first dive, and he's got a triple, his third of the year.
Lancia, the first-team All-ABL catcher out of Scripps Ranch High School in San Diego, California. The 1-1 runner goes. It hits off the home plate. Vergara sends it home, and he's in with a head-first slide. Nobody on. 2 outs. In the bottom of the 6th, Matsu on top, 3-0. Winner of this game gets the 1 seed in the Top of the World tournament. The 0-2 fastball hit to shallow center field. Tomlin races in, now backpedals a couple strides and makes the grab for out number 3. The day of Guggenmass continues. He retires yet another trio of Glacier pilots. He's gone 6 scoreless, 1-hit innings thus far. The 2-2 skips in front of the plate. Here comes Hannes, and Caleb scores the 4th run of the game. It's 4-0 Matsu. The 1-0 is battered through the shift into right field. Here comes Vergara. He scores. And Caden Carpenter has an RBI single. It's 5-0 as the lefty beat the shift. Matsu on top 5-0 in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-0 is hit sharply over the head of Barach at third base. Lancia trots home from third base. Carpenter will stop at third himself. Braden Rogers cruises into second with an RBI double. The lead expands. It's 6-0 Miners. This, of course, his first game for the Matsu Miners. He grew up watching the Miners play every summer. Native of Palmer, Alaska. Watched all these college guys come through every summer. The pitch is rang into left field. Vergara makes the grab over his left shoulder. A storybook finish to the regular season for the Matsu Miners. Landon Guggenmass, the kid, pitches a complete game 2-hitter, a shutout for Guggenmass. And the Matsu Miners take it 6-0 and earn the 1 seed for the Top of the World playoffs.
Game 2, Miners 6, Pilot 0.
Alex Vergara today notched his 5th and 6th home runs of the season. Alex, for the haters out there, I called them up and the haters told me that no one man should have all that power. What's your message to the haters?
Watch this.
So, I mean, first inning of both games, nuke, left center field, and then just a moonshot in the second game that probably went 450 feet. How cool is it to see how far that ball goes?
Well, to be completely
Alex Vergara, for the haters out there, I called them up and the haters told me that no one. So, I mean, first inning of both games, nuke, left center field, and then just a moonshot in the second game that probably went 450 feet. How cool is it to see how far that ball goes?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I didn't watch the first one because I didn't think it was going to go out. I thought I hit it too low. And then the second one was, it was like just a hanging slider on an 0-1 pitch. I was just sitting on spin there. And he left it belt high, and I knew I got it as soon as I touched it. So I didn't even watch the ball at all. I kind of just took a couple steps and then launched the bat back home. But yeah, they felt great.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Second team All-ABL, simply because not enough at-bats. You came here June 29th, made your presence known. First start, home run against these Glacier pilots here at Herman Brothers Field today. 2 in Anchorage. How big was that ship when you heard the news that it was just second team?
Well, to be completely honest, I didn't even think that I was going to get anything.
Oh.
Just because I wasn't here long enough. But the accolades aren't something that I really pride myself on. So second team really didn't rub me the wrong way. But I'm just glad I get to come out here and compete with him every single day.
So this was something that Jesse and I got really excited about in the broadcast booth. In Game 1 and Game 2, first inning, home run. Third inning, strikeout. We don't need to talk about that. Fifth inning, double. And then seventh inning, walk. When that same exact sequence happened in Game 2, also with the exact same number of outs in each plate appearance, we thought, wow, this is crazy. Was there some sort of voodoo doll that was cast upon
I don't
today?
know what was going on, but I do know my last at bat of the second game when I did get the walk, I got to first base and I was talking to Heck.
Like, I've been here before?
And I was like, I literally just had the same exact games back to back in the same order. So that's the first time it's ever happened to me, so it's crazy.
So when you got here, last one for you, said unfinished business. As you approach the playoffs right now, what's your mindset?
Yeah, I think for us, getting home field advantage was on one hand, it's great because we get to have all the fans here, but it's not a huge thing for us. We're going to go and compete anywhere like you saw today. Like, we drive an hour to Anchorage, and we beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. Good word choice.
But, yeah, playing here last year and coming in second to the Pilots, it definitely sucked. Steve and I talked about it all the time. Like, we want to come up here and win a championship for everybody and with everybody. So, for us to have home field advantage, mostly for the fans, just so that they can come out here and support us, it's fantastic. But we definitely want to get that win.
Alex Vergara now up to 6 home runs on this season. Nobody else in the ABL has more than 3. I'm Austin Barach. We'll see you in the playoffs starting tomorrow.
The Miners sweep a doubleheader over the Glacier Piles to grab first place. I'm Jesse Cook with head coach Ty LeBrun. How does it feel to end the regular season on top?
That was fun, about as fun as you can have on a day. Our guys just went out and did what they have done all year. And to take 2 on the road to win the regular season, there's no better feeling right now. I feel good.
There you go. Let's start with game 1. Drew Christo, 5 no-hit innings. Will Rizzo comes in and allows just 1 hit in his 2 frames. What did they do right?
Threw strikes, fill up the zone. Stowe was firm today, man. His fastball was alive. I think he was 92 to 94. Threw some 95s in there, and then Zoe kind of came in and did what he does best, and blow by guys. So to be able to keep that offense at bay, and it's the best offense in the league, give them, they have 1 hit in that first game?
1 hit?
Yep. They did that to a T. So.
And then moving into that second game, you bring in the local kid, Landon Guggenmoss, a Palmer native, for his first appearance at the college level ever. What did you tell him before that start?
Have fun. That was it. I mean, I told him when we got to the field this morning, like, hey, you're going to start in game 2. I didn't want to tell him last night. I didn't want him to lose any sleep over it because it's a big deal. I just told him to go out and have fun, and he did that. I think our guys actually did a really good job of keeping him upbeat and positive. And I mean, he just threw strikes today, man. It was fun to watch. And after the 6th, I was like, you want to go back out? He's like, expletive, yes. So I was like, cheers, let's go do it. So it was really cool to see him do that. For a local kid to come out and do that. I just got off the phone with one of his Legion coaches and just told him what happened. And his coach was like, yeah, a lot of expletives, but really excited too. So it was pretty cool to see.
For reference, Landon Guggenmoss went a full 7 innings.
It is playoff baseball time at National Baseball.
The 2023 top of the World Series playoffs start right here at Herman Brothers Field. The Matsu Miners enter with some momentum, the head coach of the year, and a chip on their shoulder. The M's swept the Glacier Piles in a must-win doubleheader yesterday to snatch first place from right under their noses. Head coach Ty LeBrun, after 5 seasons in the league, has his first head coach of the year honors, and the Miners, who lost last year's championship game, are back at it, and they're the top team in the regular season. The first-place Miners start their series with the 4th-place Peninsula Oilers. Live from Herman Brothers Field on the Alaska State Fairgrounds, I'm Jesse Cook, alongside Austin Barach. Austin, Matsu comes into this one with a pair of wins. They've won 3 of their last 4 of their last 5, really, but they're going up against an Oilers team that they haven't seen in over 2 weeks.
That's right, Jesse, and it's a team in the Oilers that they only took 5 out of 9 matchups against, a very feisty Oilers team. Peninsula actually outscored Matsu in the season series if you look at the total runs, but a lot of that was because of one huge 15-1 game back in the second week of the season. These 2 teams are very, very good, but I think it's very important that Matsu grabbed the 1 seed by the throat yesterday. They did not shy away from this
this matchup. They did not back down. They wanted the 1 seed, and here we are with home field advantage for Tyler Brunn's squad.
That's right, the Miners are at home, the top dog in the land, and it's a full house here at Herman Brothers Field. Let's get started with today's opening lineups. So, pitching for Matt Sue is the righty out of Cal Baptist, Brandon Downer. The big righty this season has a 2.05 earned run average in 22 innings pitched, and he was awarded the Miners Award for the top pitcher in the regular season. He's going up against an Oilers lineup that boasts Owen McElpatrick batting first and playing short. Theo Forche is the first baseman, batting second. Nick Costello, the co-league MVP, is in center field and batting third. He led the team in batting average with a .355 mark. Leighton Helfrich is batting fourth and playing right field. Michael Elko is the DH. Ty Thomas is playing third. The Miners are going to get their first look at Cole Knockreiner, the catcher for this team. He's only played in 3 games. He was a late season addition right at the deadline. He's 4 for 11, though, with an RBI, so he's got the bat. Bryson Ujimori is in left field, and Brett Grupe is playing second. On the hill for the Oilers is Ryan Palmer. He's a righty out of Cal Baptist, just like Brandon Downer. He's a rising sophomore there. And this comes as somewhat of a puzzling decision on a team with the top prospect in Ty Correa and Will Grimm, 2 pitchers who both earn run averages under 1 in the starting role. They're going with Ryan Palmer, who has an ERA of .580 and a 1-2 record. But this is the playoffs. It's a brand new season, and who knows what can happen. Matt Sue is going with the same old, though, for their starting lineup. Cooper Vest batting first, playing first. Alex Vergara, the league leader in homers with 6, is in left field, batting second. Steven Lancia, all-ABL first-team catcher, he's batting third. Caden Carpenter in right field is batting fourth. Maddox Haley, the DH, is batting fifth. He didn't play in the second game yesterday, but he got a hit and scored a run in game 1. Nolan Tucker is out at second base, and he had a very similar line to Haley. Not playing in game 2, but getting a hit in game 1. Sebastian Tomerlin is in center field. He had hits in both games. Caleb Hannes is playing third, and he's had an RBI in 4 straight days. Emilio Barreras, the team leader in RBIs for 25, is rounding out the order and playing short. And again, it's up to Brandon Downer on the hill. Austin, we're about to get to the national anthem, but what can we expect from these guys going in?
I think it'll be a gut check at the top of the order, right? You're expecting Correa, you get Ryan Palmer. Obviously, there's a reason that Larry McCann went to that particular righty batter, and right away in the bottom of the first inning, you will see Cooper Vest and Alex Vergara, 2 heavy hitters. These 2 guys are tied for second in the ABL in extra base hits. We'll see if those guys can get the momentum going right away.
Matt Sue has had the same exact starting lineup in 3 of the last 4 games, and it shows how confident Tyler Brunn is in his squad. He also has a great deal of confidence in his assistant coaches, Kyle Watson and Steve Hecker. And he extended a big thank you to both of them. We've got a lot of families tuning in all season long, so a big thank you to all of them. I know just a few names. We had Merrill Malett, we had the entire Maddox Haley clan. They wanted me to shout out his aunt, Crazy Candy, and I don't know where Crazy comes from, probably the same place as Crazy Larry, but that was how she was described. So thank you to everyone who tunes in. Austin, I know your parents have been on the train all season long. We're going to take a pause for the anthem. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back in a second. Playoff baseball is about to get going in the Matsu Valley. The top of the world playoffs start right here. The number 1 Miners going up against the number 4 Peninsula Oilers with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. We're just about to get going for the top of the first inning. The anthem is through. The first pitch has been thrown. And Brandon Downer, the big righty out of Cal Baptist, is taking the bump. And his opponent for the Oilers is his teammate during the college season, Ryan Palmer.
That's right. These two guys, you know, both strong right-handers out of Cal Baptist. Downer's been nothing but terrific this season. 1.23 ERA. That's the best mark in the team. 4 starts, 22 innings, a 1.18 whip, 200 opponent batting average against them. And, of course, last week, the 9 full complete innings against the Glacier Pilots, the team with the best batting average in the league. Brandon Downer is superb. A surefire first start of the playoffs for Downer.
That's right. Brandon Downer on the bump, and he's been good. Like you said, that 1.23 earned run average. His strikeout total fairly low considering how many innings he's pitched. 22 frames, 12 Ks. But that's largely a result of the Glacier Pilots game on Wednesday when Anchorage had its bats swinging at the first pitch. On 2/3 of their at-bats, Downer got the league's first complete game, 9-inning showing in that affair because he forced a lot of first pitch swings, which turned into the first pitch outs.
Absolutely. The Glacier Pilots were swinging first early and often. Well, I do wonder if the Oilers picked up on that, maybe scouted this and employ similar philosophy, or maybe they will wait for their pitch as well. Matt Kilpatrick is leadoff man, and this is a team that Matsu has seen Matt Kilpatrick lead off for plenty of times.
Almost every game he's been the leadoff man. It's Matt Kilpatrick due up first, followed by Theo Forche and Nick Castillo. Matt Kilpatrick, a rising sophomore at Northwestern. He bats from the right side. This season, in the regular season, he went on a 256 line, but everybody has a 0.00 batting average right now. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses up high, and the top of the world playoffs have begun at 6:04 p.m. on August 1st. Downer into the windup, glove at the letters, he fires. Swinging a dribbler in front of home plate, but it spirals foul for strike 1. Steven Lancia is Matsu's catcher. He put off his mask to grab that ball, and he was one of 5 members of this team to earn first-team All-ABL honors. Cooper Vass, the first baseman, joins him in that. Emilio Barreras, the shortstop, and then a couple pitchers, reliever Ethan Lake and starter Camden Dally. The pitch. Check swing off the inside part of the bat, right back at the mound. Downer fields it, underhands to first, and that's out number 1. Downer jams Matt Kilpatrick high and inside for a positive result for this home crowd in Matsu Valley.
Yeah, that was a really awkward swing out of Matt Kilpatrick. A definite ball, but you'll get outs any way you can.
That brings up Theo Forche. He hits from the left side. Forche batted at a 247 mark in the regular season with 18 RBIs. An open stance at the back of the box. First pitch. Fastball high and away, called a strike. Forche digs in with black and white batting gloves and a bright red helmet. The 0-1. Changeup misses up high. Forche is a rising senior at UC Davis and he's a California native from Redondo Beach. The 1-1. Changeup blown away, called a strike. Downer's ahead in the count 1-2. It's 0-0 in the top of the first inning in Game 1 of the top of the world semifinal here in Palmer. Bases empty, 1 away. The 1-2. Fastball high and away, just misses. It's a 2-2 count. Forche swivels his back and comes set again. Downer 2-2. Swing and a drive, left field. Vergara backtracks a step. He's got his glove up and he makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down. Brandon Downer is cruising through the first 2/3 of an inning, and that brings up the co-league MVP, Nick Costello. Austin, this guy has been fantastic this year.
Costello has been the heart and soul of this Peninsula lineup. He's been great all season. That batting average above 350, but he hasn't been great in some of his games against Matsu.
Righty-lefty matchup, first pitch. Fastball blown away, called a strike. Costello bats at a 355 mark on the season as a whole, but against Matsu it's just 333, so a little bit worse. The 0-1. Swinging a tapper to second base. Tucker charges, makes the grab, throws on to first. It's high, but he got him. 1-2-3 go the Oilers to lead off the playoffs, and Matt Sue is set to grab the bats. 0-0 the score from Herman Brothers Field at the onset of the Top of the World playoffs. We'll be back in just a moment. Playoff action rolls along in Herman Brothers Field between the first place Miners and the fourth place Oilers. It's 0-0 entering the bottom of the first inning. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. There's a bright glow over Herman Brothers Field, blue skies and a golden haze across the sightline with royal blue shaded mountains beyond left field. Matsu turns to the top of the order to start things off, and all-league first baseman Cooper Vest. He's been on a tear lately, hasn't he, Austin?
Cooper Vest has been nothing short of awesome. I mean, this guy has hit safely in 20 of his last 23 games. He's hitting nearly .330 in the month of July. Now it's turned to August, obviously.
The lefty first baseman out of BYU leads off in front of Alex Vergara and Steven Lancia. The pitcher for the Oilers is righty Ryan Palmer, right out of Cal Baptist, just like his opponent, Brandon Downer, the Miners pitcher. And Palmer has not been great this season. His earned run average is up at .580. He's just 1-2 for his record. Righty-lefty matchup, Vest at the back of the box. Palmer shades his glove over his eyes, he fires. Fastball low and inside, called strike one. Cooper Vest in the regular season was just about as good as you could ask him to be with a .284 batting average and the team lead in runs at 26. 0-1 count. Palmer, glove over his head, resettles and fires. Change-up kisses high and away for strike two. This is a great matchup for the pitchers in terms of glove color, both of them with that light blue Cal Baptist primary. 0-2. Vest with the bat on his back shoulder. Palmer shakes off two signals. His hat pulled dark over his eyes. Now he stretches and comes set. The 0-2. Swinging a rope down the left field line, hugging the foul line, and it's just out of play. Cooper Vest stays alive. Ryan Palmer is attacking the zone through 3 pitches.
Yeah, he doesn't have the fastest fastball, but he throws it for strikes, and he got a couple of great calls there in the first 2 pitches. So obviously fastball swinging anything close, that would have been a strike, and another laser to Vest, but just foul.
Palmer does not have great strikeout numbers, 29 in 31 innings pitched. 29 strikeouts to 24 walks. Oh, into the windup, the 0-2. Swinging a dribble to first base. It gets there and right by Forshea. Vest rounds first. That ball is free in right field. He's heading into second. Picked up. And that's a leadoff double for Cooper Vest to begin the postseason. Cooper Vest with 2 shots down the line, opposite foul lines. The second one pays off, and it brings up Alex Vergara, who's as hot can be. He went 4 for 6 across the doubleheader yesterday with a pair of RBIs, a pair of doubles, and of course 2 home runs.
Yeah, and 4 runs as well. That always gets overshadowed. He was terrific yesterday.
Righty-righty matchup. The second all-league ABL outfielder steps up to the plate. A very open stance and low, bat on his right shoulder. Palmer looks at second. He's staring at Vest. Now he throws home. Slider high and away for strike one. The Oilers are in their black tank top jerseys with black long sleeves and gray pants, black hats with a camo brim and camo Oilers logo. Matsu is in its all whites. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Deep center field. The wind carries back towards the wall. Costello with room. He makes a one-handed grab. Best tags for third. Throw to the infield. They won't even try. So Matsu has the first run of the postseason, 90 feet from home, with just one away in the bottom of the first. 0-0 the score with one away. Runner on third. Here in the bottom of the first inning for Matsu, three-hitter, all-ABL catcher Steven Lancia. He's one of the only guys in recent memory to be all-ABL in back-to-back years. Him and Vergara are the only two returners to Alaska from last season. Infield back, corners in, though. First pitch. Slider dances blown away for a ball. Lancia comes to the minors out of UT Rio Grande Valley. Got a .356 batting average, fourth in the league. Palmer's 1-0. Another slider in the dirt. Cooper Vest the runner on third. We just talked about it, how he leads the minors in runs scored this season with 26. Well, he's angling to be the first of the postseason. 2-0 count. Palmer looks at third, now goes home. Swing and a dribble to short. McElpatrick fields on the backhand. Best comes home. Throw to first is in time. That's who leads 1-0 on the RBI ground out from Steven Lancia. And that's a less creative way to score a run than how Matsu began the regular season, in which their leadoff man then, Sebastian Tomerlin, stole home against the Chinooks. But a very conventional ground out brings up Caden Carpenter, now with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first and 2 away. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish. Carpenter led the ABL with 30 walks. First pitch. The Utah product swings and misses in front of the changeup, low and away. 0-1 count for Carp. And he's a very cerebral player. He told us about his thought process and how he combines faith with mental effort. The 0-1. Waits on a fastball high for a ball. He does a lot of reading, and he told us he was very angry all the time in high school, and he couldn't figure out why, so he just decided to start looking at the positive side of life. 1-1 count. Palmer shakes off a couple signals, now raises the glove above his hat, steps into the windup, and fires. Swinging a drive in the right field, down the line and fair. Carp rounds first. It's intercepted in the outfield. He'll stay at first base, throw over to the bag. He's in front of it. So Caden Carpenter with a base hit. Leighton Helfrich tried to nab him as he came around first, throwing back to the bag, but it didn't work out.
Caden Carpenter barrels it up. It usually goes to right field. We saw him hit a similar base hit single for an RBI yesterday, beating the shift against the Pilots. No need to beat the shift right there. That one was pulled really nicely.
That nice hit brings up Maddox Haley, the righty out of San Diego State. He batted .294 in the regular season, and one might call his final stretch a flu game. He's been battling an injured ankle and hobbling through it, quite literally. First pitch, fastball high and away for a ball. Caden Carpenter on first has been fast. He's second on the team in steals with 6. But Haley injured his ankle running through first base just under 3 weeks ago in a battle for first place against the Bucks. He missed 10 days, came back with it not fully healed. The 1-0. Front door curveball falls into the zone for a strike. And how did Haley respond? By coming back against the Chinooks and having multiple hits on the day, including a double. He had multiple hits in each leg of a doubleheader. Last week, he had his first home run throw to first. It gets by him. Carpenter breaks for second. That ball's in right field. He takes a very big turn, heading for third base. Throw across the infield to the bag. He's way behind him, and Caden Carpenter takes advantage of a bad move by taking 2 bases on a pickoff error. The first error of the playoffs is on pitcher Ryan Palmer. That moves Carpenter to third with 2 away, a 1-0 Miners lead in the bottom of the first inning. Righty-righty matchup. Haley last week hit his first home run of the season in a 4 RBI affair. 3 of them came with that one swing. Infield back with 2 away. 1-1 the count, the pitch. Fastball low and inside for a ball. Maddox is not someone to strike out a whole lot. He's only done it 18 times in 120 plate appearances. That means he only strikes out about once every 6 times he comes to the plate. Once every couple games. Palmer's 2-1 on the way. Slider dances low and outside. It's a 3-1 count. Haley also cobbled together 13 RBIs, all 4 of them coming in that affair on Wednesday against the Glacier Pilots. That was 6 days ago. Palmer is 3-1. Swinging a foul chipper off to the third base side, and that moves the count to full. It's 1-0 Miners here in the bottom of the first inning. Matsu has a runner on third in the form of right fielder Caden Carpenter. Maddox Haley, the DH, is up at the dish with a full count and 2 away. Palmer had allowed 4 earned runs in 2 outings against the Miners in the regular season. That was across 9 innings pitched. Here's his 3-2. High and inside. Maddox Haley is aboard with a walk.
That was really high and inside. Drew a whoa from the home crowd. Maddox Haley doing what he does best, fighting in counts. A theme of the entire order, really, including this guy here, second baseman Nolan Tucker.
That's right. Nolan Tucker has a great 2-strike approach. We've seen him foul off enough pitches to move the pitch count in at bat to above 10. He bats from the left side. He is a product of Valparaiso, although he just transferred a little over a week ago to southern Mississippi. Tucker has already tripled against the Oilers this season. On the entire year, his batting line came in at .237 with 8 RBIs. Runners on the corners, 2 away, 1-0 Miners, bottom of the first. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch. Fastball high and away, misses. And Nolan Tucker does something else that helps produce pitches as well, more pitches in a plate appearance, is he stands very low. He's the shortest player on the team at 5'9", and he makes himself even smaller with a low open stance. The 1-0. Swinging a foul tip for strike 1. Tucker is someone with a wrestling background, too.
Yeah, Tucker is a feisty fellow, if you will, really good at many different things, has such a competitive advantage when it comes to many things in life.
That's right. He said when he can't do something, he works and works at it. It doesn't matter how small of a thing it is. He said he was bad at cornhole, which he called bags, and he worked for 8 hours to improve.
Per day.
Throw over to first. Haley's back with a dive, and if you know the Miners, you know that that move does not make sense. Maddox Haley is not running anytime soon to steal a base. That right ankle very much hobbling him. He still has to soldier around the bases at about half speed of what he would be without the ankle injury. Haley is, of course, the youngest player on the Miners roster, rising sophomore at San Diego State. The 1-1 to Tucker swings and misses behind the fastball. It's a 1-2 count. Although Tucker smashed that triple on July 4th against these Oilers, he only hit 5 for 25 against them. That's a 200 batting average against Kenai. That's 3 runs scored, 5 walks, but he's also struck out 5 times against these Oilers. Runners on the corners, 2 away, 1-0 Miners, bottom of the first. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-2. Fastball misses high and away. Tucker wears dark black batting gloves that sort of blend in with his dark green sleeves. Also wearing the same dark green socks with gold and white stripes all across. 2-2 count, 2 away. Middle infielders over second. The pitch. Fastball low and outside. Haley with a delayed steal of second.
Wow.
He hobbled off the bag. He was about halfway between first and second and then realized, wait a minute, I'm in no man's land. He just kept going, and nobody on the Oilers' defense noticed until it was too late. There was no throw. Runners on second and third with a full count for Nolan Tucker, 2 away. So Maddox Haley, I guess, is a stealing threat. Palmer's full count pitch. Swinging a rip up the middle, through to center field on the ground. Haley runs around 30 feet away to home. Relay to the to the plate, is behind him. He scores. 2 runs come home on one play. Tucker takes second. 3-0 Matsu. Nolan Tucker comes through clutch on a full count and fires home a couple RBIs. Carpenter had an easy trip from third. Haley really had to make a film of it, chasing around third base. Now that incites the mound visit for the Oilers. The entire infield and head coach centered around Palmer. And Austin, this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Does it make sense to throw Ryan Palmer and not Ty Correa, who had the best earned run average of anyone with 5 or more starts, or Will Grimm, who had a .39 ERA?
So it is of my belief that Larry McCann, the head coach for the Peninsula Oilers, is much smarter at baseball when it comes to you and me, Jesse.
Probably.
But it is confusing. At the same time, it is confusing. You imagine you want to throw your ace when he's rested, which Correa is for game 1.
And neither Correa nor Grimm has pitched since Wednesday or Tuesday of last week, rather Thursday or Wednesday of last week. They both had plenty of time off. Here comes Sebastian Tomerlin, the center fielder. First pitch, the lefty watches one high and away for a ball. It's 3-0 Matsu over Peninsula. There's a runner on second and Nolan Tucker. He took second while a throw came home to nab Maddox Haley, but he beat it out to keep the inning alive. That single scored 2 runs. And here's Tomlin out of Central Arizona. Pitch. He swings and nails it to the backstop. The count moves to even at 1-1. Cooper Vest also scored for the first run of the playoffs in either series as the Glacier Pilots host the Bucks today. He scored on a ground out from catcher Steven Lancia. Palmer resettles. Blue glove at his black belt, staring at second. He throws home. Backdoor curveball misses high and away. It's a 2-1 count for Tomerlin. And Seabass has had the definition of an up-and-down season. Either he's grabbing multiple hits per day or he's not hitting at all. His batting line comes in at 188. 2-1 count the pitch. Swinging a pop-up foul off to the first base side and way out of play. Tomlin has home run power. In the span of 4 extra base hits in 3 games, he piled on 2 triples, a double, and his 1 dinger.
Tomlin has swung a good bat in the recent couple weeks. Was in a bit of a skid last week, but got back on track yesterday.
2-2 count the pitch. This is at the Sox. Another full count for a Matsu batter. That's the 3rd in a row.
They're really making Palmer work. The Oilers already down 3-0, and their starting pitcher is struggling in just the first inning.
That's right. He's already given up 3 hits and 3 runs. The pitch. Fastball blown away outside. Ball 4. That's Palmer's second walk, and it brings up the 8-hitter in the Matsu lineup. Third baseman Caleb Hannes. He's been on a roll lately with, if it's not every game, an RBI every day throughout some doubleheaders.
Caleb Hannes has been the RBI machine as of late. You're absolutely right, Jesse. And on the season, he's really accumulating them. 20.
That's right. He's one of 2 players on the Matsu roster with 20 RBIs. First pitch to the righty. This is low and outside. It's just him and Emilio Barreras. Before Cooper Vest was second on the team in ribbies, but Hannes over this past weekend jumped ahead.
That's fascinating because Hannes and Millie are the 8-9 hitters.
The pitch. Fastball above the belt for a strike. Controversial call, and that moves the count to 0-2. Runners on first and second, 3-0 Miners with 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. Righty-righty matchup. Middle infield back and shifted over to the left side. First and third base both playing near the outfield grass. The entire outfield is playing straight up. 0-2 count. Palmer looks at second. He deals home double steal, swing and a miss. Matsu piles on a trio to open up the playoffs. We move on to the top of the second inning. The Oilers have the heart of their order due up in Helfrich, Elko, and Thomas, but the Miners are on a roll, up 3-0 thanks to a 3-hit frame. We'll be back in just a moment. minutes to top the second inning from Herman Brothers Field in Game 1 of Round 1 of the Top of the World playoffs. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. The Miners lead the Oilers 3-0 to top the second inning, and that brings up the middle of the Oilers order, 4, 5, 6. Leighton Helfrich, Michael Elko, and Ty Thomas. Brandon Downer, the righty on the bump, went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Now he's got another righty in Helfrich. Downer out of Cal Baptist comes set. He's been ready in the windup motion for more than 10 seconds. Helfrich just now steps into the box. Downer into the windup immediately, throws a pitch, and that's in the strike zone, but Helfrich stepped out of the box in the middle.
I mean, no offense, but what are we doing here?
And those are some mind games from Helfrich. That's how you want to play it. Now he steps back into the box, Downer into the windup. He deals the first pitch. Tie inside for a ball. For reference, that first pitch didn't count. The home plate umpire never motioned for time, but Helfrich did. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging a drive deep left field. Vergara looks up at the wall, reaching for the fence. He looks up and makes the grab. Vergara caught it right at the fence for out number 1. Helfrich crushed it. He rounded first like he had a home run, but someone had to tell him to go back to the bench.
And what I found interesting is that Brandon Downer gave Helfrich a long stare as he was running between first and second base. He did not like that gamesmanship out of Helfrich.
That brings up Michael Elko from the left side. First pitch. Fastball just above the belt for ball 1. Elko normally plays in the second leg of doubleheaders against Matsu. The 1-0. Checks the swing, nails it down the third base line, and foul. It's a 1-1 count. Elko has appeared in 7 games against Matsu. 3 of those were the second leg of a doubleheader. 1-1, he fires. Fastball high and away, just misses. 2-1 count. 1 away, bases empty, 3-0 Miners, top of the second. Downer from the windup. Swinging a foul tip to the backstop. It's a 2-2 count. Elko has 2 hits against Matsu and 21 at-bats, although he's batting .280 on the year. Matsu has been his toughest team. Home plate umpire calls time as Matsu retrieves the foul ball. Now we're playing again. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a foul tip to the third base side. Elko stays alive. Strikeouts were not his issue a whole lot this season, just 15 of them in 107 plate appearances. 2-2 again. Swinging a screwball to the third, Hannes fields it on the grass. Crow hops to first, and he got him. 2 away in the top of the second inning, and that brings up Ty Thomas, the Oilers' third baseman.
Another strong play at third base out of Hannes. Calm, cool, collected. Read the hop and played it on the grass to avoid any weird bounces with the dirt.
Ty Thomas has had a weird go of it at the plate. He's batting under the Mendoza line at a 197 clip. First pitch to the righty. He swings, pops it up third base side, and foul. Downer resettles on the bump right in the middle of the rubber. Quick pitching, he's back into the windup, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, curveball low and away. He's got Thomas down in the count 0-2. A cool breeze whips in over Herman Brothers Field for the first time today as Downer fires the 0-2. Fastball misses high and inside. This is only the second time, rather the third time, that Downer has taken a batter to a 2-strike count in this game. The 1-2. Swing and a tapper to second. Tucker awaits. He fields it on the awkward hop. Throws on to first for out number 3. And back-to-back frames, the Oilers go down 1-2-3. And that takes us to the bottom of the second, with the Miners still up 3-0 here in Game 1. Just ahead of the bottom of the second inning, we're back at Herman Brothers Field. The Miners lead 3-0 here in Game 1 of the Top of the World Playoff semifinal. Matsu has the 9-1-2 hitters due up, and Emilio Barreras, Cooper Vest, and Alex Vergara. Emilio is the only member of this lineup that we have yet to see in this game. He's going up against the righty Ryan Palmer, Barreras, the lefty out of Grand Canyon University. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Welcome back. Barreras is the Miners team leader in RBIs, third in the league with 25. First pitch on the way. Swings, cuts it out to first. Fielded on the hop, it gets through his glove, and Emilio's aboard on the Oilers' second error of the game. Theo Forche was right on it and just missed the ball through his legs.
That is what the infield dirt can do to you if you wait for the ball. And this, maybe this is a corny saying out of me, but this is home field advantage playing a part. Cooper Vest knows how to play those hops. A guy like Theo Forche, not used to playing first base here all the time, gets caught up with the dirt.
That brings up his counterpart at first, Cooper Vest, with Barreras aboard after the error, the second of the game for Kenai. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Check swing on a fastball at the shoulders, called a ball. Vest had a productive AB first time up. On an 0-2 count, he fouled off a pitch and then doubled down the right field line right through Theo Forche at first, holding Barreras to a 3-step lead off the bag. Palmer, with the glove at his belt, shoulder is turned towards his dugout, fires. Swing and a grounder to second, fielded on the hop, throw to the bag for one, throw across to first, they got him. No, Vest is safe! That's an absurd call. He looked behind the play, but Matsu will take it any way that the Miners can get it. Cooper Vest aboard on a gift from the umpire. Barreras called out at second, so there's one away for Alex Vergara with one on and a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. And the Oilers head coach is out talking about that call. He immediately started flailing his arms after the play. He didn't like it.
Yeah, Vest looked to be out by less than half a stride with his foot hovering before touching the bag, but Matsu will take it, of course.
And those two are still chatting, the Oilers head man and the base umpire. And finally they break apart. Vest remains on first base. One away, one on for Alex Vergara. 3-0 Miners, bottom of the second inning. Palmer stretches his arms and comes set again on the far right side of the rubber. Vergara takes a deep breath in the right-handed batter's box and sighs back into his account. Vest just 2 steps off of first base. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Swing and a foul tip into Knock Reiner's glove. Vergara has some gray batting gloves with a hint of gold across the wrist. Throw over to first. Vest is back with a head-first dive. Palmer's throw went pretty high, and it brings you back to what put Caden Carpenter on third last inning when he was on first and Palmer threw away on a pickoff attempt. That error put Carpenter on third and allowed him to score shortly after. 0-1 count. Palmer pitching from the stretch. He fires, Vest off for second, pitch is low, throw to the bag, they got him by a mile. Oh, he dropped the glove. He dropped the ball at second. Base umpire Aiden Sessler said that it came on the transfer from glove to hand, so Vest is still out. But a very odd second inning thus far. It's a 1-1 count for Vergara.
Yeah, really, really weird. The error and then the probable missed call and bang bang played first, and now the caught stealing. Very weird.
And that's the first time Vest has been caught stealing this year. He was 2 for 2. The 1-1. Fastball high and away, called a ball. And it's not often that you want to steal with a power hitter at the plate. Vergara led the league with 6 home runs. The second best dinger hitter only had 3.
Yeah.
So why take away an RBI or risk taking it away? The 2-1. Front door curveball, swinging a pop-up. Center field. Costello moves over to his right. Lifts up his right hand with the glove and makes a grab. Matsu doesn't go down 1-2-3, but they only plate 3 batters. That means it's still 3-0 Miners as we move on to the top of the third. We'll be back in just a moment as the Oilers bring up their 7, 8, 9 hitters, still searching for their first base runner. Game 1 of the Top of the World Playoff semifinal round rolls along. 3-0, the Miners lead the Oilers with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. Brandon Downer, the righty out of Cal Baptist, is back on the bump, although that doesn't really narrow it down because Ryan Palmer is his teammate out at Cal Baptist, also right-handed, and that's his opponent on the bump. But Downer has been much better. Hasn't allowed a base runner yet. He's got the 7, 8, 9 hitters, taking his first look at Cole Knockreiner, then Ryson Ujimori and Brett Grupe. Righty-righty matchup. Matsu has not seen Knockreiner at any point this season. First pitch on the way to the catcher. Checks his swing on a fastball high. That's a strike. Knockreiner has only appeared in 3 games. He was a late addition for the Oilers, signed right before that July 20th deadline. The 0-1. Front door curveball, called a strike at the belt. The count moves to 0-2. Downer has not struck out a batter yet, but he has taken 3 of them to a 2-strike count. His 0-2 on the way, fastball misses up high. Brandon Downer is not exactly the greatest strikeout pitcher, although he doesn't usually need them. In 22 innings, he's only struck out 12 batters, now 24 innings. The 0-2. Curveball misses low and inside. That moves the count to 2-2. 3-0 the Miners lead at the onset of the top of the third with the bases empty and nobody out. Righty-righty matchup, the pitch. Swinging a dribbler off to the first base side and foul. It's a 2-2 count. Knockreiner is still in high school out at Chino Hills in California. The 2-2 pitch. Checks a swing on a high inside fastball and nails it off of Lancia's mask.
Yeah, and he's set to go to Mount San Antonio College, which is where Peninsula head coach Larry McCann is from. So that's the connection right there.
Late in the season, when you're short players, you need someone quick to call. 2-2 pitch again. Curveball misses high and inside. Full count pitch. Fastball misses high, and that's ball 4. Knockreiner fights his way to a walk, and the Oilers have their first base runner of the playoffs aboard. Nobody out, runner on first. 3-0 Miners, top of the third inning for the 8-hitter, Ryson Ujimori. He's had his trials against Matsu, batting just .063. The left-handed hitting utility man is just 1 for 16. First pitch, he squares to bunt. Misses low. That's called a strike as Ujimori kept the bat up. He's out of UC San Diego, a Hawaii native. Hit his first collegiate home run against Cal State Fullerton back in May. Downer's 0-1. Fastball misses low and inside. It's a 1-1 count. Ujimori batted just .204 during the regular season. The pitch. He waits on a changeup, blown away, ball 2. 2-1 count. Knockreiner on first is 0 for 1 in stolen bases attempts. Couldn't make it work. Throw over to the bag, way late. That was just checking in on him. Downer lobbed it off the hill. Knockreiner is caught stealing, came in his first game against the Chinooks, July 28th. The 2-1. Check swing on the fastball high and away, misses for a ball. Walks were a problem for the Miners pitching staff. They were second in the league in bases on balls. That behind the Bucks. 3-1. Swing and a drive to center field. Tomerlin races over to his right, lays out and makes the grab. Knockreiner retreats to first. Tomerlin with a star-studded play early in game 1. One away, runner on base after that out here in the top of the third with the Miners on top 3-0.
Yeah, that was so impressive out of Sebastian with his speed. He didn't even need to go to a full-out dive. He just lunged and made the play. I thought that would have got down, but that's why they called a no-fly zone out there in center field.
That no-fly zone brings up Brett Groupie. The second baseman hits from the right side. Downer readies. Glove at the shoulders, fires. Swinging a foul tip to the backstop. 0-1 count for Groupie. The University of Central Missouri product. Bats just 217 on the year. The pitch. Misses low. Lancia dropped to both knees to block it. Count moves to 1-1. One away, runner on first, top of the third inning. 3-0 Miners to score in game 1 of the Top of the World Playoff semifinal. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Baseball Network presented by the Alaska State Fair. August celebrates the Alaska State Fairgrounds. The 1-1. Fastball at the belt for a strike. Downer shuffles the baseball in his right hand, position at the small of his back, and stares in for the new signal. Glove underneath his left armpit. Now he resettles. Glove at the letters. The pitch. Swinging a chopper up the middle. Barreras waits at short. Flips on to second for 1. The dart to first is in time. The Miners defense turns 2 to finish off the third, and Brandon Downer is still pitching the minimum. He hasn't allowed a hit through 3. 3-0 the Miners lead as we move on to the bottom of the third. Moving along into the bottom of the third inning, it's 3-0 Miners. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Matt Sue scored all of its runs in the first inning. Cooper Vest scored after doubling, thanks to a Steven Lancia ground out. Caden Carpenter singled, made it to third on an error, and scored as well as Maddox Haley on a Nolan Tucker single. That's what has the game the way that it is. That and Brandon Downer's elite 3 innings without a hit on the bump for the M's. Ryan Palmer is still on the hill for the black and red of the Oilers, although he has struggled. 3 hits in 2 innings. He's got the heart of the Matsu order. The righty is going up against Steven Lancia, who already has that 1 RBI. Then Caden Carpenter and Maddox Haley.
Catcher number 27, Steven Lancia.
Lancia is a right-handed catcher out of UT Rio Grande Valley. He played for the minors last season and is the only player in the league this year to be first-team All-ABL in back-to-back seasons. Palmer into the windup. He fires. Fastball misses up high. Lancia's RBI and groundout went to shortstop last time up, and he is the definition of a pull hitter. Both of his home runs this season went over the left field wall here at Herman Brothers Field. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a pop-up. Foul ground over the backstop. Lancia has had a couple extra base hits in the last week, all of them to left center field or left.
Yeah, he's really racking up those double numbers.
The infield shifted over to the third base side. The pitch. Fastball misses up high. Groupie playing just behind second base, a little off to the right. McElpatrick to shortstop, halfway between second and third, and Thomas playing right down the line. 2-1 count. Glove over his head. He fires. Fastball misses at the shoulders, and it's a 3-1 count for Steven Lancia. Matsu catcher wasn't exactly walk-prone this season. He only made it on 13 bases on balls. The hitter's count pitch. Swing and a pop-up off the end of the bat. Foul off to the first base side and out of play. That moves the count to full. Lancia had his strikeout problems for sure. He went down by way of the K 20 times in 90 at-bats. Means once every 4.5 at-bats, he's going down. Big gap between the shortstop and second baseman up the middle. Palmer raises the glove and into the windup he goes. The pitch. Fastball up high, and that's ball 4. Lancia is aboard with his first walk of the postseason. And Matsu has a runner on base with nobody out in the bottom of the third.
And that's the third consecutive inning where Matsu has put the lead runner on.
That's happened in every frame. That's right. Cooper Vest doubled to open up the day. Emilio Barreras reached on an error in the last inning. Steven Lancia walks. 3 of the ways to get to first base. A hit, a walk, and an error. Here's Caden Carpenter batting from the left side. The infield shifted heavily to the right side. Palmer fires. Fastball low and away, called a strike. We saw this yesterday from the Glacier Pilots defense. The shortstop playing right around second base. The second baseman in between first and second. The first baseman on the bag. And the third baseman about a third of the way between second and third. The only player distinctively left of second base. Palmer's 0-1. Swinging a pop-up off the end of the bat and foul to the third base side. 0-2 count for Carpenter. He had his strikeout problems this season, just like Lancia, but maybe to a higher degree. 26 Ks and 124 at-bats, though.
The Carpenter played 38 games this season for Ty LeBrun's team, second in the ABL.
0-2 count, the pitch. Misses up high for a ball. Second in the ABL to his teammate, Cooper Vest.
Yeah.
He played in 39. Matsu only played 39 games, as did these Oilers. Actually, the Oilers only played 38. They were the victim of a pair of permanent rainouts, which means that the game was never rescheduled. Palmer's 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Knockreiner had to scamper off to his left to stay in front of the ball, but there's no action on first. Steven Lancia isn't exactly a base-running threat. He hasn't even attempted a steal all year. The count moves to 2-2 for Carpenter. Runner on first, nobody out here in the bottom of the third, 3-0 Miners. The pitch. Swing and a pull cue off to the third base side. That keeps Carpenter alive. Carpenter comes to the Miners out of Utah. He's a rising sophomore with the Utes and said he really loves it out there playing at the minor league ballpark where the Salt Lake Bees play. 2-2 count. Palmer readies with the glove at his hip. Stares at home, glances and fires. Swing and a pop-up behind third base and foul ground and much too far out of play. Count stays even at 2-2. Carpenter's second two-strike foul ball. Matt Sue has only been the victim of one strikeout thus far, and it was Caleb Hanna's to end that huge 3-run first inning. Palmer comes set. He's 2-2. Misses up high, ball 3. The sun is beating down here in Palmer, Alaska, 75 degrees, but in Alaska 75 feels like a lower 48, 90.
Yeah.
3-2. Palmer looks at first, now glances back at the plate. Kicks his left leg high and fires. This is high and away. Carpenter called time, though, so now it's happened to both pitchers that they both threw a pitch that didn't count, although Carpenter would have wanted that because that would have been ball 4.
Yes. However, Helfrich decided on himself to move out of the box. Carpenter just waited there.
That's right. Still a full count. Palmer ready again. He throws. Swinging a pop-up, left field. Ujimori races down the line. He lays out and makes a diving grab. Lancia retreats to first, and that's the first out of the bottom of the third. Ryson Ujimori, who spent most of the regular season playing in the infield, steps up big time to rob Carpenter of a base hit.
Yeah, you're right. Ujimori's played second base a lot today. That position occupied by Brett Groupie with Matt Fitzpatrick, the everyday shortstop, at short. So nice play there for Ujimori and a ball tailing foul. Or down the line, rather.
That stellar web gem brings up Maddox Haley, the righty out of San Diego State. He walked last time. There's a runner on first, one away in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Miners. Righty-righty matchup. Palmer from the stretch. Curveball dances low, gets behind Knockreiner, and Lancia takes second on the pass ball. The Oilers are shooting themselves in the foot at every turn. Carpenter made it to third in the first inning after a pickoff attempt throwing error. Emilio Barreras, although he didn't score, made it to first base on a fielding error at the first base bag, and now on a passed ball, Lancia swipes second. Runner in scoring position, the 1-0. Fastball high and inside on the hands for a ball. No one knows better than Maddox Haley that playing the infield is tough. He spent one game at third base and in that time committed 2 errors. So he's well familiar with the instances of doubt that can come in that area. The 2-0. Changeup misses high and inside. But it doesn't seem like throughout the season every team has gotten a little better defensively.
Absolutely. I mean, more reps, more comfortability with the ballparks. There's only 5 of them, rather 4 of them in the league, so familiarity.
3-0, the pitch to Haley. Fastball high and away, called a strike. Maddox started to walk off to first, but he's called back. And there's already a rather contentious relationship between the players and the umpires in this game. An argued call back in the second inning when Vest was called safe at first when he most certainly was out. The 3-1. Swinging a pop-up, first base side, and foul. That moves the count to full. Palmer is reaching up there with his pitch count. That is his 4th full count, 2nd in a row. Rather, his 5th full count, 3rd in a row. He's already dealt 59 pitches. Here's 60. Swinging a screwball to the backstop. Haley stays alive. 60 pitches in 3 innings. Not even 3 innings, 2 1/3.
That's incredible. I mean, it just seems like this game has become so slow, stuck in the mud almost, and Palmer just continues to work out there.
He looks at second. The 3-2. Haley swings and nails it off the end of the bat to the backstop. Rather, the inside end of the bat. So Ryan Palmer out of Cal Baptist is pitching against his Cal Baptist teammate Brandon Downer. That's your matchup. Palmer pitching in Palmer, Alaska. That's where he appeared against the Miners when he played last.
Allowed a home run last time out here.
The 3-2. Swinging a drive, left center field, shallow. Costello races in. He's got time and makes the grab. Lancia races back to second. So there's 2 away with a runner in scoring position for Nolan Tucker, who already brought around a pair with an RBI hit in the first.
Yeah, that was a huge hit. That's the difference between this being a 1-0 game and a 3-0 game, which is really, I mean, I'm not breaking any news here by saying 1-0 versus 3-0 is huge for a variety of reasons. And that was a 2-strike, 2-out hit.
The lefty second baseman comes up to the plate with a runner on second. The first pitch dances high and inside for a ball. 3-0 the Miners lead, bottom of the third inning, 2 away, runner on second in Steven Lancey, and Nolan Tucker at the plate with 2 RBIs to his ledger already. Palmer resets, kicks from the stretch. Swing and a chopper to second base. Easy grab, throw over to the base in plenty of time. Matsu strands a runner in scoring position, but keeps its lead at 3-0. We move on to the fourth inning. Matsu ahead. Brandon Downer has yet to allow a hit. We'll be back in just a moment as the Oilers come up with the top of their order.
We've hit the fourth inning at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Brandon Downer still going strong on the hill. He's set to face the top of the order for the second time this evening in McElpatrick, Forshea, and Costello. The Miners lead it 3-0. All 3 runs scored in the bottom of the first. McElpatrick grounded out on an awkward end of the bat. Grounder back to Downer back in the top of the first inning. He entered this game at a 256 line. Righty-righty matchup to begin the fourth. The pitch, breaking ball too far inside, ball 1. McElpatrick out of Northwestern earned second-team All-ABL shortstop honors. Of course, Emilio Barreras, the Matsu shortstop, was first team. The 1-0 is tagged through the hole to the right of Barreras into left field. And McElpatrick has the first base hits of the game for Peninsula.
Shall I say it? There goes the no-hitter.
There it goes, folks. Hate to see it.
Matsu took one into the 7th and final inning of Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader, so it's not totally out of the question. Well, now it is.
So McElpatrick with a strong lead at first base with the lefty Theo Forshea up at the dish. First pitch, fastball, rang to second base. Tucker scoops it, throws on a second. That's now the throw to first. Another out. A double play for the Matsu Miners. Forshea grounds into his 5th double play of the season, and that's the second double play turn today for Matsu. 2 away quickly in the top of the 4th.
I spoke to both Nolan Tucker and Emilio Barreras last week as part of our Valley Chat series, and they both told me that they've got a good connection in the middle infield. It takes a lot to adapt to a new teammate, but they did their job well.
So now with 2 outs and the base path empty, here comes the left-hand hitting Nick Costello. Downer's pitch. Showed bunt, pulls back, taken low in the dirt. Costello, of course, the co-ABL MVP with Blake Jackson, another center fielder for the Glacier Pilots. The 1-0 is swung on hard to right field over the outstretched arm of Nolan Tucker. Costello has a single to right field, the second single of the inning.
Costello does a really good job of seeing fastballs high and inside. He saw that one coming up near the hands and swung early enough to batter it.
Downer back in the stretch now with his cleats in the middle of the rubber. That's in the all-white jerseys. Peninsula with the black tops and the gray pants. First pitch to the righty Forche is dribbler foul. Remember, first time up, rather not Forche, he was out on the double play. Leighton Helfrich, rather, had that deep fly out to the warning track in left field. Before his first at-bat of the game, he stood out of the box and made Downer throw a pitch that was not counted. The 0-1, too high of the zone, evens up the count. Costello at first base was dancing a little bit. He's got 10 steals on this season. He's 10 for 12, and that's something that Peninsula is really known for. They lead the ABL with 67 stolen bases. The 1-1 is swung on, flared into right center field. Tomlin races in, gives way to Carpenter, who makes the grab above his head with one hand. An easy play for Caden, and that's the third out of the fourth. Brand Downer is through another half inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth with Matsu on top, 3-0, with Tomlin, Hannes, and Barreras due up. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Ryan Palmer still on the hill. He has had to work a lot thus far. About to work into the windup on the right side of the rubber, facing up to the bottom of the order for the Miners in Tomlin, Hannes, and Barreras. Righty on the hill, lefty at the plate. The first pitch is a missile down the right field line, hooking foul. Tomlin barreled it up, but pulled it too far. We've seen him pull the ball to right field many times recently to much success.
Tomlin has done a good job turning on inside pitches.
The 0-1 is popped up in foul territory. Third baseman and the pitcher communicate, and Palmer, the pitcher, makes the grab with Ty Thomas and Knockreiner both in kind of a bit of an awe for out number one.
I respect the movement from Palmer, creeping into foul ground, doing his fielder's work, showing his shoulders the load.
One away, nobody on board. Matsu up 3-0, and here's the 8-hitter, third baseman Caleb Hannes. He's the only strikeout so far in this game. First pitch is taken high on the fastball, ball one. Fielders playing straight up for Hannes. Curveball misses high. Hannes, a rising senior out of Valparaiso, bats .237 on the year. His strikeout in the first inning was his 21st of the season, his 6th against the Oilers. The 2-0 to him is tagged in a shallow left field, down for a base hit on the one-hop to Yuji Mori. Hannes rounds first base and has himself a single here in the fourth.
And with that, 8 of Matsu's batters have reached base by way of a hit, a walk, or an error. The only one who hasn't boarded yet is Alex Vergara, which is ironic because he went 4 for 6 in the doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, Vergara 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to Costello in center, but here is the lefty Emilio Barreras. First pitch to him is popped up. Foul territory ranging towards us, and it hits the top of the press box for the first strike.
I would have totally had that if we didn't have a roof.
You know, I agree, but somehow I feel like that might have been ranging towards the concession stands, as that one ranges out of the zone. 1-1. Although, you know, you have showed off the agility from time to time, especially at the basketball court at the Alaska Club.
That's right.
The 1-1 to Millie misses low and in on the fastball.
I'm not sure Matsu Miners starting pitcher Brandon Downer would want to hear you talking about basketball at the Alaska Club, because you shut him out in a one-on-one game, 7-0.
This is true.
You dunked on him.
This is true. I shouldn't brag, though. Downer is the starter for the Miners, as that one is flared foul, 2-2. Let's just say Brandon Downer is a much better baseball player than I am a basketball player. So
good way of putting it.
There's no way I can take much credit for that. Haina's on first base. Small lead for him. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Matsu on top. 3-0 in game 1 of the semifinals of the Top of the World playoffs. Palmer's 2-2 misses. Haina outside. Full count coming up, and Barach appears to have finally shaved that facial hair around his chin area, going with that playoff mustache that the team has wanted him to pull off for about a week now. See if it helps him here in the full count. He chokes up slightly on the bat. The payoff pitch from Palmer is laced foul along the third base line.
Yeah, Emilio and Drew Christo, the starting pitcher from yesterday, have both been rocking goatees for over a month now. But Emilio finally clean shaven on the chin, just like you said, in that stash mode.
The payoff again rises high and away. Nobody moves yet, and now Barach finally gets the word that was, in fact, the fourth walk, and so he reaches first base for the second time in as many plate appearances.
Well, you know, counting is hard.
Yeah, you know, it certainly can be. It certainly can be. I'll tell you what, though, this is now the third time that Cooper Vest has come to the plate today. 1, 2, 3. Simple enough for me. I don't know about you, Jesse.
The math checks out.
He's got runners on first and second. Hannah's at second. Barreras at first. Matsu on top. 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 away here. Palmer working out of the stretch. And now the home plate umpire calls time. So for the third time today, the batter is granted time, and we appreciate everybody tuning in from all around the world. Over 100 of you tuning in for this Game 1 of the playoffs as Matsu seeks its first championship in 5 years. Palmer's pitch to Vest drifts outside on the fastball, 1-0. Today, Cooper doubled in the first. He would score on a Lancia groundout, and then he reached base on a controversial fielder's choice. He appeared to be out by half a second, but he was called safe. But then, almost like poetic justice, he was caught stealing at second. The 1-0 is swung on and lifted foul out of play.
We don't often see Vest chase after pitches on the outer half of the plate, but Palmer's been dealing all out there against Vest. The only time that he crept inside and high was that double.
You're absolutely right. It's all away from Cooper Vest because they know anything middle in can be crushed to right center field. The 1-1 is tagged to second base. Could be another double play. 1 out on the flip to second, and Vest is out at first as well. 4-6-3 on the double up. Peninsula is out of the fourth. And after 4 full innings, it's still 3-0 Matsu with 5-6-7 due up for the Oilers when we return in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back to the heart of the Matsu Valley, Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. I'm Austin Barach, joined to my left by Jesse Cook. We've reached the top of the fifth inning. Matsu on top by a score of 3-0. Right hand, Brandon Downer still going strong, facing the lefty Michael Elko. 5-6-7 due up for Peninsula. First pitch of the inning, fastball stings the outside corner for strike one. And Elko, believe it or not, is actually the hottest hitter in the ABL over the last month. 365 over the last 30 days as he sends one on the ground to Vest at first base. Scoops it up ever so casually on the right side of his foot and trots on to first base for out number one.
Smooth work for Vest at first base. It was astonishing that he wasn't in the Gold Glove conversation, considering that he has 0 fielding errors.
Vest has been rock solid every day in Tyler Brunn's lineup, as here is Ty Thomas, the right-hand batter, watches a curveball hit the bottom of the zone for strike one. Thomas grounded out to Nolan Tucker at second base back to end the second inning. The 0-1, swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. It's quickly 0-2.
Downer's breaking ball is working really well, starting in the zone and tailing out.
The 0-2 fastball misses away. Thomas has really struggled against Matsu this season. He is now 1 for 15 with 4 strikeouts against the green and gold. Downer's 1-2 pitch just outside. Downer still in search of his first strikeout today. Here he is in the 5th inning. He's even to count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch sent foul along the first base side. Thomas, a rising freshman out of San Bernardino, California. That's under that 200 line this season, but in the 6th spot today. Pitch runs outside on a big-time slider. It's a full count. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the 5th. The payoff pitch to Thomas is tailed foul. Sharply hit, but we'll do it again.
Downer's attacking the zone well. If he can just keep it at the knees, he'll get what he wants.
Here we go again, the 3-2. Breaking ball hit to right center field. Tomlin ranges back in the gap and makes the backhand play with his momentum carrying him right up against the wall. An impressive play for out number 2.
Sebastian Tomlin has so much range. He ran about 30 yards to track that ball down in the span of, what, you think 6 or 7 seconds?
Probably less. I mean, that ball kept tailing away from center field. So that was another great play by Sebastian Tomlin. His second nice play in center this game. The first one came back in the 3rd off of Eugene Maury's bat. So here comes the catcher, Cole Knockreiner, who takes strike one on the inner half. Knockreiner catching a day. It's usually, as the 0-1 swings in for a strike, it's usually Josiah Chavez, who is Downer's teammate at Cal Baptist for Peninsula. But here is Knockreiner, the 0-2, and he stays alive off the end of the bat, sending one to the backstop. Knockreiner with no batting gloves. We've seen that from left-hand hitter Andrew Lamb of the Glacier Pilots. Knockreiner earned a walk back in the 3rd inning. Downer's 0-2. Curveball hit to short. Softly hit. Takes a weird hop, but Barreras has it. Fires on a first in plenty of time for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Downer. We've hit the bottom half of the 5th inning. Matsu still going strong, up 3-0 with 2-3-4 due up when we return. Matsu on top 3-0 in game one of the semifinals of the 2023 Top of the World playoffs. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. The Miners have up Alex Vergara, Steven Lancia, and Caden Carpenter, 2-3 for righty, lefty. Against the right-hand pitcher to Cal Baptist, Ryan Palmer, entering his 5th inning of work. He settled down after allowing 3 runs in the first inning. First pitch to Vergara, fastball popped up, tailing out of play behind us, strike one.
Vergara is the only member of the M's roster who has yet to reach base today by any means.
Fly out to Costello twice. First one was hit further than the second one. The 0-1 pitch. Low, hits off the catcher's face mask of Knockreiner, ball one.
That's right, hit the back of home plate and took that awkward hop up, but it looks like he's okay.
So Vergara, of course, had that spectacular day in yesterday's doubleheader, 4 for 6, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 4 runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. Has a 9-game on-base streak on the line. Still just the bottom of the 5th, though, so he'll get another at-bat after this one. The 1-1 misses upstairs, and Vergara is ahead in the count, 2-1. Alex had 1 of his 6 home runs against Peninsula back here in Game 2 of July 17th's contest. Matsu won that one 3-0. The pitch, up and inside, ball 3. Of course, Game 1 of that day was a 0-0 win for the Oilers, as they were the designated home team after a rainout in Kenai. They won 0-0 off of the ABL rules, sudden death in the 2nd inning of extra innings, as for the 4th time today, time is called by the home plate umpire, so Palmer has to wait again out of the windup. Here we go. 3-1 count to Vergara. The pitch, up and in, ball 4, and Vergara is now on base for the 10th consecutive game.
This game feels like it's going slow, but we're now over the halfway point, and it's only been an hour 18 since first pitch. 2.5 hours is relatively short if that's how the game keeps going.
First pitch to Lancia, sails up and outside, ball 1. It certainly has felt like it's misses low and in. 2-0 the count to Lancia. Matsu got 3 of their 4 hits back in that first inning. Just 1 hit since. That was a single off the bat of Caleb Hannes in the bottom of the 4th. 1 on, no outs here in the 5th. The pitch is roped foul along the third base side. Lancia read that one, but yanked it foul.
And the pace of the game has been slow, but there have only been 6 hits between these two teams, which shows why it's so short.
Palmer's 2-0 runner goes. It's popped up. Infield play, charging the foul territory. Thomas and the catcher Knockreiner makes the grab over Ty Thomas for out number 1. Vergara is back at first base.
Those two nearly collided. It was a scary moment for a second, but thankfully everybody's all right. Although we've seen times this season where the infielders can't decide amongst each other who's going to grab the ball.
And from third to first, it's Ty Thomas, Owen McElpatrick, Brett Grupe, and Theo Forche. Left to right, Yuji Mori, Costello, and Helfrich. With Palmer still in the hill, with Knockreiner at the plate doing the catching. 1 away, 1 on for Caden Carpenter. The lefty swings the first pitch he sees, pops it up. Shallow left field. Incoming is Yuji Mori, and he's called off by the shortstop, McElpatrick, for out number 2. I mean, Yuji Mori was playing really far in to begin with, but it's McElpatrick who makes the grab about 2 feet into that shallow grass in the outfield. So after 2 straight pop-ups, Matsu has 2 outs here with the slow-moving Maddox Haley walking into the right side of the batter's box. So far today, Haley is 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, and a run. All of that came back in the first inning. Palmer checks on Vergara at first, back without a slide. Outfield playing straight up for a Haley. Yuji Mori perhaps shading just a tad to the line in left field as the first pitch misses inside. Maddox with the red gloves. Out of San Diego State, the 1-0 is swung on, belted to right center field. Could be a gapper. The ball lands into the gap. Here comes Vergara. He's being waved home. The throw on the relay won't come home, and Maddox Haley has a 2-out RBI double, and that's the first run since the first inning. It's now 4-0 Miners.
Maddox Haley does such a good job of turning around on pitches late in the count. Still pretty early, just 1-0, but he cracked it, and he's got a good mind to think about where the next pitch will go.
So Vergara scores all the way from first base. Of course, he was off on contact with it being 2 outs. And now it is a 4-0 game with Nolan Tucker, the 5'9" second baseman, standing at the dish. He calls for time. Tucker, of course, had that big 2-run single back in the first inning. And he has a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Matsu on top, 4-0. Palmer out of the stretch. Swivels at second, throws home, and misses low on the fastball. 1-0. Tucker with those 2 RBIs in the first inning, now up to double digits on the season, 10. Those were his first RBIs against Peninsula this season as he takes a pitch up and out of the zone. 2-0 the count. Also with that single, Nolan brought his on-base streak to 11 games. He's been on base frequently, just like Carpenter and Vergara, as he taps one foul along the first base line. Tucker ended the bottom of the 3rd by rolling over a outside fastball to second base, his position. From time to time, he is known to roll it over on the ground. He's up in the count right here, though. 2 balls to 1 strike. Palmer's pitch stings the outside corner. It's 2-2. Tucker bent his knees in a little bit of frustration after that call. Checked with the home plate ump to make sure that one was in the zone. Yuji Mori in left field playing really shallow. Palmer waves off a couple pitches. Long stretch, now decides on one. Here it comes. Breaking ball misses outside. Good eye, and the count runs full. Matsu won 5 of 9 games against the Oilers this regular season. This is the first time these two teams have played in just over 2 weeks. The payoff pitch, fastball, spoiled off the end of the bat, off the face mask of Cole Knockreiner, remains full.
We've talked about it ad nauseum with Tucker's ability to fend off 2-strike pitches. He does a good job of shortening up, and he sort of leans a little bit over the plate to slap at those high-and-away pitches.
He's geared up, ready to go. The pitch misses low, gets past Knockrunner. Haley scampers over to third base off of the wild pitch, but stops right there, and Matsu has runners at the corners.
Almost every inning where the Oilers make a very preventable mistake. Either it's an error, it's a pass ball, or it's a wild pitch.
You're absolutely right, as Peninsula's pitching coach walks back onto the mound along with the rest of the infield. There is one pitcher standing in the Peninsula bullpen. Number 4, Sam Silversmith, whom the Miners have seen a couple of times already this season. But it appears that Palmer will stick in the game.
Silversmith is Palmer's, Knockreiner's soon-to-be teammate at Mount San Antonio College.
So after a bit of a long mound visit, everybody returns to their positions. Tucker is at first base. Haley is at third base. Matsu has already scored 1 run this inning thanks to an RBI double from Haley that brought home Vergara. And here comes the left-hand batter, Sebastian Tomerlin, who is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a pop-up. Palmer's pitch, fastball, misses low and away. Forshey is holding Tucker on at first base. It's one of those interesting first and third scenarios. There's nobody holding on to Haley at third, but he doesn't have a big lead anyways with not 100% left leg. The pitch is swung on and hit high in the left field. Yuji Mori gathers around it and makes the grab with the left hand above the forehead for the third out of the inning. Matsu strands 2 but adds on 1. After 5 full innings, the Miners are on top 4-0. 8-9-1 due up for the Oilers. When we return, don't go anywhere. A breeze enters in the stadium here at Herman Brothers Field on the Alaska State Fairgrounds. It's Matsu 4, Peninsula 0 as we enter the 6th inning alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Brandon Downer still going strong. The right-hander on the hill set to face 8-9-1 in Yuji Mori Groupie and Maggle Fatrick. First pitch of the inning, fastball tags the outside corner for strike 1. Yuji Mori batting from the left side. Flied out to center field back in the third inning. That was via a great play by center fielder Sebastian Tomlin as he ropes one on the ground to second base. Tucker scoops it up just short of the waist and fires on the first for first out of the top of the 6th.
Brandon Downer has kept his pitch count really low. That was just pitch number 63 on the day, which means he's throwing about 12 pitches in every frame.
Downer, in his first outing since the 9-inning complete game, the first and only of the season in the ABL. He's working really well yet again. Here he is against the 9-hitter Brett Groupie. The right-hand hitter swings and misses on an outside fastball, strike 1. Groupie grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the 3rd inning, his first time up. That's at a 217 clip, and he sends one foul along the right field side. It's 0-2. Groupie went 0 for 3 on Sunday, his last game against the Chinooks. In that series in Kenai, Groupie went 0 for 15. So that batting average has really come down. The 0-2 pitch, curveball back past Downer, gets to second base. Tucker is there though, and he backs up his pitcher for out number 2. And Downer, after missing that play, just look at his glove in disbelief. Now he has a smile because that's an out nonetheless, trusting his defense.
By the time that Tucker's momentum had stopped carrying him on the run, he had walked past the mound and he darted a quick glance at Downer with a toothy grin.
Downer at 6'5", Tucker at 5'9", so much more nimble to make that play as McElfactory, the leadoff man, swings one, tags one to second base, off the glove of Nolan Tucker on the one hop, and it ricochets into shallow right field. McElfactory is on for his second consecutive single, and the top of the sixth inning remains alive.
Now batting first baseman number 17.
Tough ask for Tucker to make back-to-back plays like that, especially when that ball really snuck up on him. It just gained speed as it was going through.
So, runner aboard for the left-hand hitting Theo Forche. He's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play his last time up, 4-6-3, of course. 2 outs here, so a double play is not necessary. First pitch to him is grounded off of his foot for strike one. Forche, a rising senior out of UC Davis, went just 3 for 19 in the series against Chugiak. Began the day at a .247 batting average. The 0-1 to the lefty misses low. 1-1 the count. In college, Forche had just an .096 batting average, 5 hits and 52 at-bats. So he's seen the better days here in Alaska as he foul tips one off the mitts for strike two. Peninsula won 4 out of 5 matchups with Chugiak and Kenai last week. The Chinooks were eliminated before the conclusion of that series. So the Oilers have known for quite some time that they would be the 4 seed. The 1-2 pitch, fastball misses low, stopped by Lancia between his legs. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, we learned that the Oilers had clinched back on Friday. There was the thought that they might play an extra game on the Peninsula to make up a rainout in Chugiak, but that was not needed.
That's right. The 2-2 misses high, so it becomes a full count. Chugiak would have had to have won, I believe, the first 4 games of that series to force a 5th and 6th game in Kenai, but the Chinooks, not only did they not win those first 4, they lost all 4. And so the fish have gone fishing, if you will. Runner goes on the 3-2. It's slapped to right center field. Carpenter moving to his right and makes the play just shy of the hypothetical warning track to the right of his right knee. Downer has gone through the 6th. We've hit the midway point of the 6th inning. Matsu has 8-9-1 due up in the bottom of the inning. We'll be right back. It's the bottom of the 6th inning in Palmer, Alaska. Matsu on top, 4-0, alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. And a new pitcher is in the game for Larry McCann's squad. Ryan Palmer's day is done. He went 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned. Just 1 strikeout, though, to 6 walks, and he is in line for the loss as he gives way to another right-hand pitcher, Sam Silversmith, another Mount San Antonio College guy. Of course, Cole Knockreiner, also out of Mount San Antonio, doing the catching for him, and he's set to face 8-9-1. Hannes, Barreras, and Vest. Righty, lefty, lefty. Silversmith in the windup. Throws home, and the curveball hits the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Silversmith on the year has appeared in 10 games with a .590 ERA. His last outing was July 27th in a win against the Chinooks. The 0-1 is corkscrewed off the catcher. It's 0-2.
Caleb Hannes is a tough batter to enter the game against. He already has that single earlier today, and he's been on a very quiet hitting streak.
Hannes has reached base in many recent games. He's right now down in the count 0-2. Pitch is tapped foul along the third base side. He's got 8 RBIs in his last 8 games. That's certainly a signal of getting on base.
And he's reached in 7 of those 8 games.
There it is. So he's one of many, many Matsu batters with an on-base streak right now. Matsu bats peaking as the playoffs begin. The 0-2 is slapped up the middle in shallow center field. Another single for Caleb Hannes. And the leadoff man has reached base for the 5th time in 6 innings for Matsu.
If you can start the inning on a high note, that really makes things easier for everyone else. I know that sounds redundant to say, but first impressions matter.
Yes, they do. Silversmith watches a bunt down the third base line from Barreras. Thomas comes in and makes the throw to first, gets Barreras by about a stride. So Millie puts down the bunt and sends Hannes to second base on the sack. Bunt 1 away with a runner in scoring position for the top of the order in Cooper Vest.
Vest has hit the ball hard today. He doubled, got to that fielder's choice, and that double play, all on relatively hard-hit baseballs.
Yeah, both of his fielder's choice plays and the 4-6-3 ground out were sharply hit ground balls to Groupie there at second base. He's got so much power. That double in the first inning was his 17th extra base hit of the season, and number 17 looks at a strike down the middle on the fastball. Silversmith this season has faced the minors twice. Both of those times came here at Herman Brothers Field, most recently July 17th. The 0-1 to Vest is swung on lifted out of play down the third base side. In that contest on the 17th, game 2 of that doubleheader, he went 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. He faced just 3 batters. The other appearance was on June 9th, the first week of the season, where he did not record a single out, allowing 2 earned runs. The 0-2 is left low. Good take by Vest. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him.
That was an odd game. I remember Sebastian Tomerlin had his first hit of the year, and it brought home a couple runs. The Oilers tried a bunch of pitching combinations.
Silversmith looks at Hannes at second, fires home with it, and it's back up the middle off the mitts of Silversmith. The shortstop, Michael Factor, collects it and gets Vest out at first base. Hannes scoots over to third on the ground out, 6-3.
Really a 1-6-3
yeah, I
because
guess so.
it hit Silversmith's glove as he tried to field the ball behind the back.
So a runner is 90 feet away for Alex Vergara, who walked his last time up to extend his own on-base streak, moving it to double-digit games, 10. Matsu on top, 4-0. Bottom of the 6th. The pitch, breaking ball, stopped nicely. Moving to his right was Cole Knockreiner for ball 1.
Yeah, he saw where the bounce was coming, and he stood up for it because he knew it was going to be a high hop. It takes a high baseball IQ behind the dish to instinctively make a play like that.
Yuji Mori's 1-0. Two-seamer misses low. It's 2-0. Yuji Mori in left is playing a little deeper than usual with the power hitter at the plate. He homered twice yesterday in Anchorage in the doubleheader. The 2-0 pitch, fastball misses low. Vergara is ahead in the count. 3 balls to no strikes.
And 1 home run in each game yesterday, as well as those doubles.
65% of Vergara's base hits this season are extra base hits. The 3-0 is smacked to left field in front of Yuji Mori on the one hop. Hannes scores from third base. And Alex Vergara has, well, I guess a single, merely a single, but it brings home a run. It's 5-0 Matsu.
It takes some guts to swing on a 3-0 count. Vergara brings around Hannes with the impressive cut.
So the Miners have tacked on another run here for the second straight inning. So here comes catcher Steven Lancia. Steven takes a fastball high, ball 1. So Vergara is now boarded first base twice today. Hannes has had 2 singles himself. Lancia takes another pitch low. Lancia has reached first base twice. Rather, once actually, a walk back in the third. He had an RBI ground out back in the first. That scored the game's first run. Silversmith, his 1-0 offering, here it comes. Hit high, but shallow, into the outfield. Helfrich and Groupie communicate, and the right fielder Helfrich makes the grab left of his left shoulder for out number 3. We're through 6 innings. The home team on top, 5-0. We'll be back for the 7th in just a few minutes.
Smooth and efficient describes Brandon Downer throughout this game. The Matsu righty has allowed just 3 hits in 6 innings of work, and he's fired only 67 pitches. That means he's throwing just about 12 pitches every inning. Now he's got the 3, 4, 5 hitters in this Peninsula order. 5-0 the Miners lead, entering the top of the 7th with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish, in co-league MVP Nick Costello. He shares that title with his fellow center fielder, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, Blake Jackson. Downer out of Cal Baptist on the bump. He comes set, glove at his eyes. First pitch on the way, he winds and deals. Curveball dances low and inside for a ball. Nick Costello is 1 for 2 thus far. Fired a base hit to right field his last time up, but grounded out to start the game. 1-0 pitch. Checks his swing, another curveball at the socks for a ball.
And remember, Downer made his first 2 starts against Peninsula, so these Oilers have seen him many times, but still can't seem to hit him so far. Impressive stuff out of Downer yet again.
The big righty takes a step off the bump. He stands all of 6'5". That's an intimidating frame. His 2-0. Fastball at the belt for a strike. That's right, Downer made his first 2 regular season starts against the Oilers. He did have one in an exhibition affair against the Monarchs. 2-1 to Costello. Fastball at the knees, strike two, a 2-2 count. Downer against these Oilers has a 113 earned run average. That's 2 runs, 1 earned. The 2-2. Swing and a slice to left field. Vergara charges, lunges, and makes the grab in front of his knees. Alex Vergara has made 6 diving catches on the season. He's robbed 2 home runs, and he lunges right out in front to make the grab for out number 1.
Yeah, I'm almost disappointed that he didn't lay out for that one, but still so effortlessly smooth.
Here's Leighton Helfrich, first pitch to the righty. He watches a cutter high and away for a strike. Helfrich is another outfielder just like Vergara, just like Costello, except he plays in right. The 0-1. Swing and a slice up the middle. That's down for a base hit. Vergara chases it down in the left center field gap, and Leighton Helfrich has his first knock of the game.
Now batting, DH number 12, Michael
That
Elko.
single brings up Michael Elko. He's 0 for 2, and he has yet to leave the infield with a ground out to third and a ground out to first. Righty-lefty matchup, runner on first, 1 away. 5-0 Miners, top of the 7th. Downer puts a glove at his neck and deals. Fastball low and inside, it just misses. Downer has some shaggy brown hair that peeks out from underneath his cap in a sort of wavy flow. The 1-0. Changeup misses up high. 2-0 count. He wears green sleeves underneath his white jersey. The sleeves stop right around the forearm. He's got a teal blue glove. He deals a 2-0. Fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. As for Elko, he wears all white batting gloves, has white cleats as well with a black Adidas logo. The 2-1. In the dirt, skips away from Lancia to the backstop. Helfrich rounds second. He chases for third, but quickly chops a step. Throw to the bag. He's back in diving. Helfrich darts back into second base. Steven Lancia tried to pick him off from just about 150 feet. And suddenly there is some action in the Matsu bullpen. Lefty Mario Bejarano has begun warming up, lightly tossing from the bump. Runner on second, 3-1 count, 1 away. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Swinging a sharp grounder to short. Barrera's fields it on the dirt. Throws over to first in time, but that moves Helfrich over to third base. The 2-way, the Oilers have their first run of the game 90 feet from home.
Good play by Burris. He checked the runner, but he was long gone to third base at that point. Right now,
Ball swinging a drive, left field, center field gap. Vergara chases back near the wall. He makes a catch over his shoulder. Running up against the fence, Alex Vergara has another grab this inning. And the Oilers strand a runner on third, leaving the scores still 5-0 Matsu. If you're not a fan of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, well, we'll take a break then. We move on to the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-0 Miners, with the 4-5-6 hitters due up. Welcome back into Herman Brothers Field. It's game one of the Top of the World playoff semifinal. And the hometown Matsu Miners lead 5-0. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Sam Silversmith is on the bump for the Oilers in his second inning of work here in the bottom of the seventh. He's got the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Matsu lineup, and left-handed hitting Caden Carpenter, righty Maddox Haley, and lefty Nolan Tucker. Silversmith has long black hair that arcs over his shoulders. He steps into the windup, and the righty fires. Fastball in the dirt for a ball. Carp is 1 for 3, singled his first time aboard and ended up scoring back in the first inning. Then he was victim of a couple pop-outs. The pitch. Checks the swing on a fastball in on the hands. That's ball 2. Count moves to 2-0. Silversmith came into the game for the 6th inning, and he allowed a run on 2 hits. Has yet to strike out a batter. His 2-0. Swing and a sharp tail to second base. Fielded on the ground. Throw across the body to first, and they got him. Brett Grupe has made a series of running plays off of second base all day, and he adds another one. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that brings up the right-handed hitting Maddox Haley out of San Diego State. Normally an outfielder, Haley is in the DH spot. He injured his ankle just under 3 weeks ago, and since then has been only playing the plate. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI double last time up. He also scored after a walk in the first inning. Silversmith steps into the windup and fires. Fastball in on the knees for ball 1. Haley actually stole a base, if you can believe it. He hobbles around on that right ankle, but he had a delayed steal that was a very spur-of-the-moment deal. The 1-0. Front door curveball swung on, spiraled to second. Grupe stabs it for out number 2. Brett Grupe with back-to-back plays at second, and to continue that story, Haley was dancing off the bag in between pitches. Nobody was looking at him, and he looked down at his feet, realized he was halfway between first and second, and thought to himself, well, I better take second base. That's exactly what he did. That brings up Nolan Tucker. He's 1 for 2. He had a 2-run single back in the first inning. First pitch to the lefty. Watches a fastball low and inside. So Silversmith has dealt 6 pitches this inning. 4 of them have missed the strike zone. The only 2 that have made it in were hit for outs. The 1-0. Fastball too low, ball 2. Tucker takes a moment outside the box, readjusts his batting gloves, stretches his arms, and now saunters back in. All white cleats, all black batting gloves. 2-0. Watches a changeup high and away, ball 3. Base is empty, 2 away, bottom of the 7th, 5-0 Miners over the Oilers. Game 1 of this semifinal series. The pitch. Fastball right down the pipe for strike 1. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip off Knockreiner's glove. That moves the count to full. 3-2 for Tucker. He started up in the count 3-0, but now it's moved up to full. The payoff pitch. Swing and a sharp shot to center field. Costello waits on it and straight away looks up with one hand and makes the grab. So that fly out does it for the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-0 the Miners lead as we move on to the penultimate frame, the top of the 8th. We'll be back in just a moment as the Oilers have their 7, 8, 9 hitters, bottom of the order, due up. We keep moving along here into the top of the 8th inning. The game is about to hit the 2-hour mark, and Matsu finally has a new pitcher, leading 5-0. The lefty out of Central Arizona, Mario Bejarano, replaces Brandon Downer. The righty out of Cal Baptist went 7 shutout innings on just 4 hits, although he didn't strike out any batters. 91 pitches in his outing. And Mario Bejarano threw just 5 the last time he took the hill. Pitched a third of an inning on Friday night against the Bucks. That was the most recent loss for Matsu after sweeping the end of the season doubleheader yesterday. Bejarano has the bottom of the order in the 7-8-9 batters. Cole Knockreicher first up. The pitch. The righty swings and tails it to the backstop foul. 0-1 count after that. Bejarano comes into this outing with a .527 earned run average. His 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a screwball foul to the backstop again. Knockreiner was utterly fooled. He ended up out on his front foot and hit the ball off the neck of the bat. So Bejarano looking deceptive early on. Quickly into the windup, the 0-2. Fastball low and away, just misses. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Baseball Network with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. This broadcast brought to you by Napa Auto Parts and the Alaska Highway Safety Commission. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up behind first base. Carpenter chases it down the right field line. Lays out. It gets by him. It dropped for a hit. Knockreiner moves into second. Carpenter fields the ball, throws to the infield. He's going for third, and he stops there, retreating to second base. Cole Knockreiner gets a very cheap double down the right field line. All 6'4" of Caden Carpenter laid out parallel to the ground searching for that ball, and even that wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's Knockreiner's first extra base hit of his young season. Carpenter, tremendous effort right there, laid out full stretch, just inches away from making the backhand play.
The two-bagger brings up Ryson Ujimori, lefty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 2. Crowding the plate in a tall open stance. Bejarano kicks and fires. This is up high for ball 1. Mario is a graduate of the USA Baseball Academy. He fires the 1-0. Swing and a miss, fastball high and inside, tied up Ujimori. Mario told me that the academy taught him a bunch of valuable lessons, but the most important thing he learned was how to talk in interviews. The 1-1. Front door curveball misses low.
And you're right. I mean, he's a great guy to talk to. He's somebody who I feel like I've gotten a lot closer with over the last week or two. Always friendly, always a smile on his face.
He deals the 2-1. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 2-2 count. Mario is a part of that Central Arizona Community College trio with Sebastian Tomerlin and Braden Rogers. All 3 of them have been here since day 1. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing, drive into right field on the ground. Knockreiner rounds third. He's held there. Carpenter fires a ball to the plate. Lancia stops it. And that's a single for Ryson Ujimori. Runners are on the corners for the Oilers with nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning.
And we do have to be objective. It is our responsibility here as broadcasters. And that was another instance where Bejarano was a little late getting over to first base. Obviously, there was no play to be made right there, but he did forget for half a second to get over there.
That brings up Brett Groupie batting from the right side. Yeah, there was no play at first base. He kicks from the stretch and fires. Fastball inside. Skips away from Lancia. Runner goes for second. He's in there. No action on third. So now there's runners on second and third after Ujimori took second on the wild pitch. Bejarano's correct move on that last play would have been to back up the catcher at home. He deals the 1-0, swinging a pop-up, first base side, foul ground, Vest charging back. In foul ground, he makes the grab, holds everybody in check on the bases. There's one away. So that keeps the runners on second and third. Now there's one out, but it brings up the top of the order, and Owen McElpatrick, he's got hits in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Single to left in the 4th, single to right in the 6th. Lefty on the bump, righty at the dish. 5-0 Miners, top of the 8th, 1 away. The pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. Bejarano has met up with the Oilers twice, both times coming on the road. The 1-0. Fastball at the knees for strike one. It's a 1-1 count. And in those 2 appearances, he's gone just 2/3 of an inning. Very short outings both times. His 1-1. Swung on, belted up the middle. Barrera's fielded at short, bobbles it, throws on to first. He got him, but Knockreiner comes home. No, they called him safe. At first he was safe. That's another botch at first base. Cooper Vest had a play like that earlier in the game where he was called safe on a shore out, and it happens again in favor of the Oilers now. 5-1 Miners, top of the 8th with runners on the corners now.
I don't hate that call. I think it was a close play, but yeah, the run does score. Bad hop.
First pitch to Forshea. Front door curveball, call a strike. I'm sorry, you might have thought it was close. That was not in the slightest close at first base. That was a surefire out. 0-1 pitch from Bejarano. Fastball at the belt for a strike. It might not affect anything, but it already happened earlier in the game, and yet you have to feel for the defense both times when it happened against the Oilers and now when it happens against the Miners. That was an out that just got taken away. The 0-2. Curveball, front door, called strike 3. Mario Bejarano has a strikeout and is 2 away.
Center fielder number 26, Nick Costello.
Runners on the corners for the league MVP, Nick Costello. 5-1 Miners. The Oilers scored 1 run earlier this inning on the RBI single from Owen McElpatrick on the infield dirt. Lefty-lefty matchup with Costello. He's 1 for 3 with a single back in the 4th. Costello wears all black arm sleeves all the way up to his wrists. The pitch. Fastball misses up high. He tops those arm sleeves with all black batting gloves with a white streak in between the index finger and the thumb. He also has black cleats with a white base. Bejarano's 1-0 pitch. Squares to bunt, lays it down, third base side and foul. Lancia fielded it on the bounce. That moves the count to even at 1-1. So the McElpatrick hit has been turned into an error. So no RBI and no earned run. Nevertheless, there are still runners on first and third. 2-way top of the 8th inning. A 5-1 lead for the hometown Miners in Game 1 of the Top of the World Playoff semifinal series. Middle infielder is back on the outfield grass. First and third base playing in. 1-1 pitch. No, Bejarano steps off and throws to first. He's back without a tag. McElpatrick gets the runner on first. He reached on what is now the stop. That brought home Cole Knockreiner. Hisanuchi Mori is the runner on third. 1-1 pitch. Front door curveball skips into the zone for a strike. Bejarano started that break, aimed for Costello's front shoulder, and it dropped to his knees.
That was filth.
The 1-2. Curveball misses low and outside. Lancia keeled over to his left to stop it. 2-2 count. The outfielders are playing straight up. Barreras and Tucker, the shortstop and second baseman, are both on the outfield grass. Hannes is playing in between second and third, about halfway, now on the infield grass. 2-2 pitch, runner off for second. Swing and a rip to second. Tucker has it on the outfield grass, fires on to first on the run, and he got it. The Oilers do 1 run's damage and strand a pair in the 8th. It's now 5-1 Matsu. We move on to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the hometown crowd is hoping that it's the last time the Miners come up to bat today. We'll be back in just a moment.
All right, winning number.
We're back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Matsu coming up to bat with the bottom part of its order in Sebastian Tomerlin, Caleb Hannes, and Emilio Barreras. The Miners lead 5-1. Sam Silversmith is back on the bump. The righty out of Mount San Antonio Community College, pitching to the Central Arizona Community College product. Righty-lefty matchup. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. The entire right side of the infield is back, as well as the shortstop, but the third baseman is in. First pitch. Fastball misses high and away. Tomerlin is 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning, but grounded out and popped out after that. The 1-0. Another fastball high and away for a ball. Silversmith has long curly black hair that tails down below his shoulders, tucked underneath that black and camo white hat. The 2-0. Front door changeup at the knees for a strike. That's not the first time we've seen Silversmith deal a 2-0 changeup, but it is the first time that it entered the zone. 2-1, he steps into the windup and fires. Swing and a miss behind the fastball, high and away. That moves the count to 2-2. Sebastian Tomerlin had a strikeout problem this season. No one on the Miners roster struck out as much as him, 29 times. 2-2 pitch, he fires. Swing and a miss. Silversmith K's his first batter. Comes in his third inning of work, and there's one away to lead off the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Caleb Hannes. While Sebastian Tomerlin has struggled, Hannes has had a day to remember. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Righty-righty matchup with the Valparaiso product. Silversmith nods, takes a deep breath on the hill. Into the windup he goes, first pitch. Fastball misses up high. Caleb Hannes has a minor league background in his family. His dad ended up in the Royals organization. The 1-0. Waits on a changeup up high. Ball 2. His dad, Mitch, was the head coach at Indiana State. And that's right, he played for the Royals and Brewers minor league programs. The 2-0. Swing and a miss in front of the changeup. It's always good to have a pro background in your family.
It is. You see what the work ethic is like, what the travel is like. It's good stuff.
The 2-1. Misses low and inside. Well, Mitch was in the minor leagues and retired long before Caleb was born. Caleb was born in 2002. His dad's minor league career ended in 1991. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a drive, center field. Costello backtracks about 8 strides, but he's got time and room. Looks up with one hand and makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that brings up the 9-hitter in Emilio Barreras, who to this point has not had a stereotypical at-bat today. He's 0 for 1. That was when he reached on an error in the second. Then he walked and laid down a sacrifice bunt. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish. Infield shifted over to the right. Silversmith sighs and steps into the windup. First pitch, swing and a flare down the left field line and foul. That ball into the Oilers bullpen just left of the line. Count is 0-1 for Barreras. He was named first team All-ABL at the shortstop position. The pitch. Change-up high and away, called a strike. And Emilio has not come off the bench for any game. He's only started. 0-2 count, 2 away, base is empty. The pitch. Swing and a sharp liner into left field on the ground. Barreras has his first hit of the playoffs, and it's a base hit. A single for Emilio brings up the top of the order in Cooper Vest. The BYU product is 1 for 4. He doubled to lead off the game, ended up scoring the first run of these playoffs. After that, he grounded into a fielder's choice, a double play, and a putout up the middle. Righty on the bump, lefty at the dish. Vest in an open stance at the back of the box. First pitch. This is high and away. 5-1 the Miners lead, bottom of the 8th inning, 2 away, runner on first, top of the order up at the plate. Vest was all WCC first team, and like Barreras, he was all ABL first team. The 1-0. Swing and a liner into right field on the ground at one hop Helfrich. Barreras cruises into second, and the Miners with 2 away have runners on first and second.
Another day, another hard hit, base hits for Cooper Vest. I tell you what, I am not tired. I am not tired of watching Cooper Vest swing that bat. Boy, is he hitting balls on a line all season long for 2 months now.
Someone else who's hitting the ball hard is Alex Vergara. He led the league in homers with 6. He comes up to bat on the right side of the plate. Yesterday was an unusual outing for him with 2 home runs in that doubleheader and an eerie similarity between the games. The pitch. He watches a changeup high and away for strike 1. In game 1, Vergara homered in the first, struck out in the second, doubled in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. And in game 2, he homered in the first, struck out in the 3rd, doubled in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. Sound familiar, huh? The 0-1 swings at the front door curve and chops it foul off to the third base side.
It really was, and he told me in the post-game interview when he reached first base after that walk in the second game, he told Steve Hecker, the first base coach, hey, I think I just had the same game. I think I've been here before.
Yeah, have I been here before? Do I know you? This all seems like a dream I once had. Well, it's an 0-2 count for him here with runners on first and second. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Shallow infield grass. In between second base and the mound. Shortstop McElfatcher creeps in and makes the one-handed grab. The Oilers jumped into the fire with 2 away and put runners on base, but without getting out of the frying pan, they're definitely out of the woods. They still have to bring up the bats to keep this game alive. Matsu is ahead with a big 4-run lead. 5-1, Matsu entering the 9th inning in Game 1 of the semifinal of these top-of-the-world playoffs. The Oilers, to keep this series tied, have the heart of the order due up in Leighton Helfrich, Michael Elko, and Ty Thomas. We'll be back for what could be the last half inning of play here in Game 1 in just a moment. Welcome back for the top of the 9th inning in Game 1 of the Top of the World Playoff semifinal. The 1-seeded Matsu Miners lead the 4th place Peninsula Oilers 5-1. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Mario Bejarano, the lefty out of Central Arizona Community College, is on the bump for his 2nd inning of work, and he's got Leighton Helfrich. First pitch to the righty, swings, chops it to second. Tucker fields it on the outfield grass, throws on to first, and he got him. Rather, Alex Thurston is out at second base, replacing Nolan Tucker. That's how it went the doubleheader yesterday. Tucker played Game 1. Thurston replaced him in the field. That brings up Michael Elko, the designated hitter, batting from the left side. Infield evenly spaced and back. Bejarano into the windup. He fires. Fastball at the knees for a strike. It's not surprising that Thurston is replacing Tucker in the field. Nolan has been dealing with some right knee soreness all season long. The 0-1. Swinging a rope down the left field line, but foul.
It is a smart move by Tyler Brunn, mixing and matching. We usually see Thurston pinch run for Maddox Haley. Just good to get some of your bench guys involved in a game.
Pitch. Fastball misses low. 1-2 for Elko. Bejarano fires. Fastball low and away. 2-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out. 5-1 Miners. Top of the 9th inning in Game 1 of these playoffs. Right side of the infield back. Bejarano from the windup. Swinging a line drive up the middle and through to center field. A single for Michael Elko, and that's his first hit of the day after starting out 0 for 3. The Oilers still have a long way to go before they can get the tying run up at the plate. Right now, that tying run is in the hole, and it's Raisanuji Mori. Coming up now is Ty Thomas, the third baseman. Just like Elko, he's had an 0-for-3 start. Runner on first, one away. Bejarano pitching to a righty, fires from the stretch. Swinging a sharp grounder to short. Barreras eats it up, throws to the back for one. Darted to first for two, and the Miners have won game one. 5-1, Matsu wins the first game of the Top of the World playoffs in 2023. The countdown can tick down from 4-3. Matsu looking for a championship. They've got game one over these Oilers. Mario Bejarano comes in relief after Brandon Downer went 7 4-hit shutout innings. Bejarano shuts the door, only allowing one run in his 2 frames on 3 hits. Matsu will be back at it tomorrow against the Peninsula with an opportunity to clinch a spot in the championship round. And Austin, maybe more importantly than just clinching a spot in the championship round, is that they can do it with a day off on Thursday.
That would certainly be nice. I will speculate right now. Actually, I won't say speculate. I will guess. I'll make an educated guess that Ty Correa starts for the Oilers tomorrow. I believe that'll happen. And Cannon Daly, we know for sure, is in line to start tomorrow's Game 2 for the Miners. Today, though, great win. Great win. You jump off to an early 3-0 lead. You never look back. And Brandon Downer, boy, oh boy, has he been reliable, Jesse. Another strong outing for him. No runs allowed on just 4 hits. Super efficient yet again. He's just been a blessing, a great mid-season acquisition for Pete Christopher and Tyler LeBrun. I mean, LeBrun was the one who really orchestrated getting Downer to this team with his connections to so many coaches in the southwest of the lower 48. And Downer was spectacular again today. He pitched a gem, and this offense got going when they needed to. Big hit from Nolan Tucker in the first inning that scored 2 runs, and that big double in the gap from Maddox Haley in the 5th that scored Vergard to make it from 3-0 to 4-0. An all-around tremendous effort, all facets included today for Matsu.
Matsu takes game 1 thanks to Ty LeBrun's work in getting Brandon Downer. And that offseason work, while it probably doesn't count into the considerations for head coach of the year, fielding a team that respects you and fielding a team that knows you wanted them there probably helps his players' admiration for him. And LeBrun has said many times that he doesn't really care about winning head coach of the year because he credits his award to his assistant coaches, but he was thankful that it was given his way. But he also said that there's one more thing he wants. That could come later this week if the Miners keep playing like that. A 5-1 win over the Oilers. Matsu chasing its 9th championship, its first since 2018, its first in the Ty LeBrun head coaching era. Matsu defeats the Oilers thanks to some strong pitching. Matsu has allowed 1 run in the last 3 games.
It's been something special. It's been truly, truly remarkable, except for that, 8th inning on Friday against the Bucks in that relief appearance. I mean, it's been pretty much shutouts for the Miners. Like, honestly, yesterday, 2 scoreless games for the Pilots against the Miners, and then today, the Oilers get a late run across, I guess. But this pitching staff has been phenomenal all season, and especially in this last week.
Well, these are the 2 best pitching staffs in the league, and earlier mentioned Ty Correa being the probable starter for tomorrow. Well, we thought he would start today.
Yeah. It just didn't happen. I have reason to believe that Larry McCann wanted to give him an extra day of rest. Last pitched on Thursday against the Chinooks, so I guess, 5 days of rest versus 6 might make a huge difference for him. So we will probably see him tomorrow as Peninsula tries to stave off elimination, but Cannon Daly has been superb as well this season. The first team all ABL starting pitcher will take the bump for Tyler Brunn's team, and the Mat-Su Miners chance to quickly sweep the Oilers tomorrow.
That would be a blessing for Mat-Su, a team that has struggled with injuries and players being banged up as a result of having doubleheaders sandwiched together in awkward times.
Yeah.
That's right. This has been a lot of baseball in 1 month with an irregular schedule that the players didn't expect. Some have called it one of the worst months in Alaska recent memory as far as rain. So a bright and sunny outlook for August is definitely a positive sign for all parties involved. When the Mat-Su trip to Kenai against these Oilers was marred by rain. 5-1 the final. The Miners lead the series 1-0, and that countdown just gets one tick lower. We'll be back tomorrow for Game 2, but thank you so much for tuning in for Game 1. This has been the Mat-Su Miners Baseball Network. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook saying thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your evening.